good morning, weirdos. How are we today? Is everything good out there in the world? Huh? Probably not good, but things are going. I got no dog this morning. I do have coffee, though, and I'm happy for that. So here we go. One of those morning sounds that I just love to hear. All right, here we go. Going in, people. Going in. Oh, that's hot. I'm in an orange mood today. So me and Eeyore are hanging orange. So let's see. I was almost late getting on this morning. Almost. Yesterday, I took everything off of my computer that I didn't need, and it turns out I needed something else. So I literally wiped 50 gigabytes off of my computer and moved them over to my external hard drive. When I did that, I took the morning show graphics and I moved them over. So I had to plug my hard drive in this morning and yank the graphics. But here we are. Safe and sound here in the 1980s. So there you go. I'm hoping Måns will show up today. Måns is from Sweden and stopped by last week to hang out. And then I reciprocated by hanging out over on his YouTube channel for a little bit, checking out the scene. Yeah, elephants painting on TikTok. That's cute. I'm not into cute videos. I'm into my videos. I'm into music. I'm into weird stuff. I'm not into happy, warm, and fuzzy, feel-good cat videos, elephant videos, that kind of stuff. It's a waste of fucking time on the internet. It's a waste of my time on the phone. I don't do memes. I don't do cute little fucking videos. What I certainly don't do is get up in the morning and stare at my fucking phone. You know, people who get up, they stare at their phone from the first moment they open their eyes till the second they go to close them or pass out with that stupid phone on their fucking... These are the things about humanity that just really gets under my skin, right? Fucking smartphones making dumb people. Who would have thought that once the technology got smart, that it would actually become smarter than us? And as a whole, yes, technology has become smarter than humanity. That's why they keep doing that AI shit, right? Well, let's AI this and let's AI that, and we'll get all kinds of cool AI stuff going on. Fuck that shit. You take the human. You take the human out of everything, and what's left? We're a bunch of fucking machines, right? Remember that Twilight Zone, huh? Where the boss was so insistent on replacing those lousy humans with robots until everyone was replaced in the company by a robot. And then a robot came for his job. There you go. There you have it. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Now, if we live in a slave society, then yes, we are going to be very upset if robots take our slave jobs. What is a slave going to do if he ain't got no job, right? That's a slave mentality. Don't let a robot take my job. Let the robots take all the fucking jobs, okay? That frees us up to do whatever the hell we want to do. I'll sit and do this all fucking damn day long if I got a robot out there doing my job, right? Well, he ain't doing your job. He's doing a job for some corporation, and then you ain't getting nothing for it. You're not going to push the sign. Well, I'm assuming that humanity should reach a point where we're in like that Star Trek utopian where we're working for the betterment of mankind, for humans, not for money. And that's where it's at now. Everything is so wrapped up in that almighty dollar, that euro, that freaking gold coin, right? That piece of paper that says I'm rich and you're poor. There you go. There you go. I mean, money's like one of those things that divides us: religion, politics, money. All those things divide us. Well, they're supposed to bring us together, but they don't. They really don't. They bring a few people together, and then these few people get together and hate those few people over there because they believe something different, right? And now we've got a religious war. Now we got people lobbing bombs back and forth at each other, right? For what reason? Tell me, please. Hey, good morning, Joel. You're on a plane. Well, gosh, what the hell are you doing on a plane? I would think that you'd be on a train or something. Being over there on the East Coast. He's on a plane. Joel's on a plane. He's bopping around in the sky. He's going to watch the stream later, which is really cool. That people actually watch this stuff. I mean, I don't watch it. But then again, I'm here, so I don't need to watch it. I don't need to review it. Yesterday I went and listened to the end of the show. We lost sound about, I don't know, the last half hour of the show. Kind of a bummer. I was right in the middle of a story too. I was telling a story yesterday about living in Mammoth Lakes, California. And I spent a summer camping there, me and my friend's dog, in a tent, big canvas, heavy-duty, thick canvas tent. And the story is that I spent the summer doing this mainly to save money and get that little tiny apartment I was in. And then at the end of the summer, I was going to rent a big house for the bunch of us to live in, which is what happened. But camping out on that scenic loop, that was, I'll tell the story again at some point, but it's fun. Because I repeat myself, so everything you hear one day, you're bound to hear it another day. Coffee good this morning. Well, Joel's on a plane, and I am not. I am here, and he's on a plane. I'm gonna kill some pain. How's that? How's that? Joel Diesel. God, it sounds familiar. I guess it's just the Joel part because I've known a few Joels. The last Joel I knew, gosh, I haven't seen since 92 or 93, right? That's crazy. That's just crazy. You know what? Everything seems like yesterday when you suffer from severe, heavy-duty, hardcore depression. Everything from the past seems so close and so far away at the same time. It's like I can reach over and touch somebody from the past. I can just reach back and grab something and go, here, this is from the past. I mean, not because I can reach around my room and grab it, but because it's in my head, man. It's in my fucking head, man. Or maybe I'm really there. Maybe my body's there and my head is here. You know? I don't know, man. It's like crazy. Crazy. Yeah. So my daughter comes to me last night, 19. She's 19. And she's like, so my friend Charlie, usually we get that house, which is what we usually do. And when Charlie comes over to go to a concert from Arizona over here to California, Charlie will usually take a bus and then stay for 3 or 4 days and then take a bus back. And what I usually do is get one of our vacation rentals. I just borrow a vacation rental from a friend. But things have been really sluggish this year. And I didn't mind borrowing the vacation rental when it was slow and there was nothing going on. right? Because I wasn't interfering with the schedule. But now there's things are coming back, and I want, I don't want to take money out of people's pockets. So I won't be borrowing the vacation rental as often as we did last year. Not for every concert that Charlie comes out for. So Charlie's going to stay here this time, which Charlie stayed here before. And I love Charlie. Charlie's a really cool dude, really cool person, really a weirdo like me. So there you go. I can dig it. Maybe Charlie will come out and have some coffee on the morning show here and talk to us. Because my daughter won't. But if Charlie stays here, Charlie's more likely to come out and have coffee and hang out in the morning. So that's cool. That's cool. My daughter, she just holds such weird hours. I don't even try to get her to come and play and do stuff. She's not into my things, like all these records back here and stuff. She's into my music, my books, my tapes, even the YouTube stuff she's into, as long as she doesn't have to be a party to it, right? As long as she doesn't have to get on this side of the camera. On that side of the camera, she loves it. She's fine. She'll laugh, she'll direct, she'll help me figure things out and come up with things to say, right? She's the one that told me not to wear a hat on the morning show. Because it's morning. Who wears a fucking hat when they get up out of bed, right? So, well, I mean, some vain people, I guess. But that's not me. I don't give a shit. I don't do criticism, right? I've been criticized and judged my whole life. So I don't, if you're going to come at me and go, well, what about this and what about that? I'm just going to go click. Right? Because I just don't care what people think of me. I guess to some extent I do, because I'm here. But I mean, you either take it or leave it. You take me for what I am, or you walk away. You love it or leave it. Love me or leave me. I'm unapologetically me. This is, what are you gonna do? He's got a runny nose again, Mark. Leave him alone. He's got a post-nasal drip, Harry. Dude, that dude's always bagging on you. What a bogus neighbor. No, I haven't gotten a new tattoo since yesterday. Post-its, they don't always work. That's just the way it is. I don't always look at a post-it. I try to get them in areas where it'll make me look at it, but I don't usually look at post-its. Mainly because I get so many freaking post-its around me that it becomes like wallpaper. I ignore it. This little note here is here to tell me that UPS is coming today with my computer. And to stay vigilant, stay on it, stay on the ball, get off the dime, get the ball rolling, get the show on the road. I need to make sure that UPS doesn't leave town with my computer, or the post office doesn't decide to send it back. Also, it says screws. I got this new little monitor here, right? And I've got my wall mount, right, for the TV. So I'm going to be putting this little monitor on a wall mount for now. And I think I'm just going to attach it to this cabinet that's here that you all don't see. On the morning show last season, you saw a cabinet here filled with records and stuff. On some of my videos, you can probably see the bigger, grander scale over this room, right? I need a monitor here for my keyboards. Eventually, I'm going to build a little box, right? Looks like a toolbox but it is a box for holding. Man, look at that. It's right there. All of my stuff. Let me show you a little diagram I made. So this is the top, and the top opens up, right? And then on the top that opens up is going to be the monitor. And then down below it are going to be some drawers, some slide out shelves with my laptops. And then some shelves for VCRs and stuff. I got to get a dog here. There you go, folks. Nice. Poor little dog. Creakity, creakity. Creakity, creakity, creakity. You want to come up here, baby? Is that what you want to do? You want to come up here? Huh? You come up here. Come on, are you going to burp up some more water? Huh? Well, don't drink so much and then lie down. Come on. Okay. Come on over here, baby. You can go up here. Come on. There you go. There you go, girl. In the mornings, I'm a doorman for cuatro perros, 4 dogs. Tengo 4 perros en mi casa con las moscas y las piedras. Rocks, yeah, en mi cabeza. Piedras en la cabeza. Ay, Chihuahua. ¿Por qué no me hablas todo el programa en español? No sé. ¿Por qué no me habla mucho español, bro? Solo hablo poquito. Como en la mañana mi cabeza está muy, muy duro. Shush. Y mucho sueño. Hi, big face. Hi, big face. Big girl, big Bessie. Yeah. Hi, Bessie. Good morning. You want to go back to sleep? You want to go back to sleep? Huh? Is that what you want? You want to go back to sleep? There you go. Go back to sleep. Go back to bed, you big baby. You big baby girl. That's right, big baby. Just go back to sleep. We tuck you in. There you go. There you go. She's a good big dog. She's the silliest big dog in the world. Yeah. She wants to lick her foot. She likes to lick her feet. She's a foot licker. Foot licker. She needs a striped shirt. Now that's Foot Locker. Sorry. So anyway, I got some new medication yesterday. I got Garlic Grove. Mind stimulating, body relaxed. It is a sativa heavy hybrid. And this one does not put me to sleep. I was sitting here last night trying to get a couple of things saved out and edited. And I had a couple of hits of this. And it was great for the pain, but I didn't feel sleepy. I wasn't like, oh man, I'm so just drowsy now. Which the last stuff that I had, the Royal OG, Man, that stuff was just wiping me out. A couple of hits and I'd be down. A couple of hits and I'd be down. I'd get up from being down and I'd go down. Stuff's a lot better. It gets behind me, right? And pushes me. It gets in front of me and it pulls me. It doesn't get inside of me and go, just stay here, bruh. And that's great, because that's what I need. Speaking of bro, where's my brother? He should be stopping by at some point one of these mornings. I mean, he always says, yeah, I stopped in for a second, then I got to go get coffee, take a crap and all that and go to work. Fuck, dude, just turn me on and leave me there. So, on the back of TVs now, not only do we have the RCA jacks and the little cable thing and the HDMI, but we've also got a USB port, right? So that USB port is for, among other things, one of these deals, right? And this is an HDMI male. So this sticks into the back of the TV where you plug in your DVD player, let's say, right? And then on this female USB, you plug in the end of your phone cord, the one that goes into a little thing that plugs into the wall, right? The little outlet fob there. Well, you take the USB end of your phone cord and you stick it in here, right? Then you take this USB cord and you stick it in the back of the TV to power all of this, right? To keep your phone from dying. Now we're watching the phone on the TV, right? So my plan is to check this out and see if this will work for my phone. If this will work for my phone, then it's going to be my brother who's going to be then getting one of these so that he can watch me on his television through his phone while we are FaceTiming, right? Now, he doesn't have to go like this. What the hell is that in your room? What's on your shirt, dude? Right? So that's in the works. He's already got his niece one of those little tripod phone thingies, right? That he can snake on and use. So that's cool. I really need to try to sit down with him and go over some kind of technical schematic for his little home studio end of Elsinore Brothers, because he's a part of this too. I mean, all these guys and gals I get in touch with to try to get little pieces of my little projects done. They're all Elsinore brothers and sisters. Hence the reunion, right? I'm hoping that by the reunion time, this whole thing will have gone into another whole other level, right? Who knows? At some point I might leave this behind to just edit video for people, and we might just be every once in a while you get to see another video that I've done, because that would be the ultimate, right? For me to sit and make videos for people, to make my own little documentaries. You know, I love this morning show. This is it. This is me for now. But as you well know, I change. Everything I do, everything changes every day, on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. I change. I'll be completely against something here, and I'll be considering it over here, because I never go 100%. I go down the middle of the road. That allows me to say, you know what, maybe I should check this out, or you know what, maybe that's just not for me. You know, I don't commit 100% to anything, because there's no reason to, right? There's no reason to. I just don't see it. I just don't. I don't see it. I don't fucking see it. So yeah, yesterday I was playing with my video cameras, my little HD video cameras. They're really cool cameras. Unfortunately, they may not do the job for me that I require. This mini switcher, this ATEM Mini Pro, ATEM, my little ATEM Mini Pro, requires 4K HD cameras, right? Like 3,000 DPI or something. Like 2 or 3 times. Almost 4,000 DPI, which I guess is why they get the 4,000 4K, yada yada yada, right? So while I can come out of these phones HD to HDMI, I'm hoping that I can use the cameras. It just won't be a great sync. The research that I did said that on huge TVs, it's going to get a little granular and pixelated, right? If you haven't noticed, a lot of the stuff that I do is granular and pixelated. I'm trying to make things have that old appearance, that appearance of age. I hear dogs clicking on the floor again. So, see who wants to go where now. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Nobody. Hi. Good morning. Good morning, little boy. Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute when you wag your tail, Sam. Huh? Oh, cute. Little Ollie. What are you doing? Did you come out from my cereal bar? Well, I haven't started eating it yet. Come on, and then come say hi. These guys. These guys and disguises. Hi, Oliver. Good morning. Good morning, Oliver. I see that little tail. Come here. Good morning. How are you? Hi. Hi, little guy. Just a little boy. Yes, that's a little good boy. Yes, you're a good boy. Yes, you're a good boy. You're such a good little boy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. He's got little biscuits in his gravy. See his little biscuits? He's got those little biscuits in his gravy. He's got some biscuits on his head, and he's got biscuits all over his body, because he's just smothered in gravy. He's just smothered in gravy. Yes, he's a funny little mixed chihuahua. He's a funny little mixed chihuahua, and he's fat too. He's fat, but he's my little fat boy. Yes. This is the one that came to us from an old lady who brought him home from the supermarket. The free puppy box. And she was in her 70s, and she brought him home as a little bitty teething puppy. And she, after a few minutes, decided she didn't want to have a little puppy biting her. She didn't, crepe paper thin skin, and this guy just wanted to chew on everything. Nicknamed Bitey. He just wanted to hang, chew on everything. And the message from me through my wife to this lady was, we'll send the dog over and we'll get him past his teething and send him back to you, right? Because that was the courteous thing to do. And she's like, no, I don't want him. So I said, okay, once again, send him over and we'll take him. Hi, Sam. Click, 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 click. What, Oliver? What? You want to go to bed? I don't want to sit and scratch you all morning. Do you want to go to bed? Huh? I'm not ready to eat. I'm not. I know you are, but I'm not. Okay? I want to drink coffee still. And you're not going to get that. So you want to go back to bed? Huh? You want to go back to bed? Stay here. Stay. You want to go to bed? Oh, I guess so. Yeah, doing that doorman thing. Doing that door thing. Forget it, Oliver, I'm not eating cereal bar yet. Sam has gone back to bed. Little Tootsie Roll has gone outside because she just drank water. Now she's going to want to go back to bed. How about you? You want to go back to bed? As soon as I eat the cereal bar and you get your little nibble, you're just going to abandon me. Little guy, you always do. You always abandon me. You get your food and then you run. You're adorable. Yeah, just so adorable. Months, where are you? Months. Oh, there's T-Roll. Well, there's that. So, Sam and Oliver get up. Bessie here first, of course. And Bessie gets up, comes out here, lays down, gets tucked in to hang out with me. She'll be asleep and snoring here within a few minutes. Oh, there she goes. And then Sam and Oliver have to come out, see what's going on, get some water, wag their little tails. Good morning. Sam is so cute. Oh. And then they've got to go in with my daughter. And then, of course, Tootsie, she's got to come out, get a drink of water, go out, go pee, and then she goes back in with my daughter. So now my daughter's got 3 dogs. She goes from 1 dog up to 3 every morning. Yep. And then my wife will get up in, probably 2 hours, right? And then the dogs will probably continue to sleep with my daughter for the rest of the morning. What is this? This Thursday, so she has no school today. I think she just went to sleep early last night. I mean, real early. Like, oh my God, like so totally early. Like, yeah, it was like, I don't know, I think 1 or 2 or something. I got up, took a leak, and her lights were out. And usually she's up until now. I mean, usually she's up until 4:30 or 5 working on stuff. I guess she was just burned out and tired. She's got a couple of more years of this college stuff. Well, a few weeks of college and then 2 years of university. I just wanted to hold on and finish off that university. You know, from there, she can decide, you know, once again, and she'll be at that deciding point. You know, does she want to take some time off and go work, apprentice, do something? Or does she want to continue with the schooling, you know? Because I got no trouble standing behind her, helping her, taking her, driving her, whatever. You know, I don't want my daughter to go to work until she's able to work it. I don't want her to go out there and be a slave. I don't want her to wind up at McDonald's. I don't want her to go to the, like a lot of people who attend college and university, they wind up with a minimum wage job, and I don't want that for her. I want her to, have something really enjoyable to do that she loves to do. And while she's studying psychology, it may not be that, right? I joke with her about getting into pet psychology, and that's just because I want to say, hey, you don't have to be completely devoted to the whole idea of psychology, right? You can do anything out there and just use this to help in whatever it is you're doing, I mean, get to a psychology and then study music, if that's your thing, and then take psychology and music and art and help people somehow. I don't know, man. I just don't want her to be nailed down to the idea that she's got to do this. You got to choose. Back in junior high, you got to choose what you're going to do for the rest of your life, and then you've got to focus on that and aim toward that. So by the time you get to that, you're so fucking burned out on that, you don't ever want to look at it again. That's not the way life is. Life isn't so cut and dry. Life isn't so, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that for the rest of my life. It usually isn't that. It usually just doesn't work out that way, I must be connecting with my parallel universe self right now, because I'm seeing images in my head of another place, another time, another town, and there's old colonial style houses and cabins, hilly streets, a lot of lap siding, a lot of boxy lap sided homes on really old streets with really high sidewalk, really high curbs, old trees. Not so many old trees, but it seems like we're on kind of a hilly area. Anyway, this happens to me a lot where I maybe not so. Maybe I'm back in Los Angeles again. Maybe I'm with that guy. I know it's weird, and people are gonna like, what, he's one of those. But every once in a while, I feel like, yeah, maybe I did share my existence on a parallel kind of plane thing, because I always have these feelings like I spent time in 30s, 40s Los Angeles when the middle of Los Angeles used to be this big hill that had a lot of homes and stuff on it. People lived on this big giant hill in the middle of LA. We used to have a lot of hilly stuff there, right? And where downtown is, old downtown Hollywood, not Hollywood, old downtown Los Angeles, where all the big skyscrapers and stuff are. There used to be a lot of big hill in there, and I just, every once in a while, I have a dream or a flashback to being there on that hill and to living in an old lap-sided house, an old boxy, having an old pickup truck. I feel like I was an old junk man, right? I felt like I was an old 1940s junk man in Los Angeles on that hill, living on that hill. And then at some point, that hill was just almost leveled, right? In order to make it more acceptable for the tall skyscrapers and shit that they built there. There are some of those hills still left. In fact, there's a lot of movies filmed on one of the hills north, I just want to say north of Los Angeles, especially in the 90s or the 80s. John Carpenter used that hill looking down onto Los Angeles for They Live. The movie Colors, Sean Penn and Robert Duvall, right? They filmed a lot of that in that area on that hill. You can see that looking down from that hill, that those open lots that they used to have there. There were a lot of open lots, just, old house, what do you call them? Foundations, old home foundations and walls and trees and stuff, but no home. Yeah, crazy stuff. Well, I hope we don't lose sound or have any technical bitches today, because that's a bummer. I mean, I was wanting to go to 6 hours yesterday, and then right when I have sound issues, I get more viewers coming on, and it just pissed me off. Time to warm up the coffee, because I cannot stand warm, medium coffee. It's going to be hot or cold. Well, okay, the creaking you hear is my home. My house is a mobile home from the 1960s, and it's been here since the 1960s. So the floor itself is wonky, is a little wobbly, right? And it's got a little bit of flex to it, mainly because it's just used, it's just old. And the longer we spend here walking around, moving furniture and doing stuff, it just gets worse. I expect that it's either going to collapse, or at some point I'm going to be able to get somebody over here to fix it, right? I've got plans to fix it, but my body doesn't like those plans, so I just kind of have to wait. But anyway, so you hear creaking. That's mi choza. Mi choza está muy treco, wonky. Well, mornings with crazy old weird bearded guy in Espanol. Isn't that something? A little bit of coffee, a little coffee in me, and look the hell out. All right, I know you see the guitar back there. If you can hear my voice and that deep rumble in my voice, that means that I'm not not in the singing capacity by any stretch of the imagination. I think mainly it's because I'm not getting enough sleep, and I'm doing way more talking, way more externalizing my inner monologue than I normally do. Normally, I don't do a lot of talking. My normal existence is pretty much me out here by myself doing my own thing. My daughter, for the most part, in her room or at school or with her friends doing her own thing. And my wife working and with her friends doing her own thing, or in her room or in our room. So usually if I'm talking, it'll be to one of the dogs, or my wife and daughter. But I talk way more on this show than I do any other time. That's weird. I guess this is making up for all of those years that I didn't talk, right? Especially when I was really, really young and I just didn't want to talk. I didn't have anything to say. I didn't have anything to say, anybody to say it to, right? But they say that men do way less talking than women. And I believe that to an extent, unless you put me on the morning show, then the tables are turned, you know. Now bring it on. You want to talk? Let's talk, you know. But yeah, for the most part, I don't think I've done this much talking my entire life. The past 2 seasons of this show, my goodness, I've probably made up for, 20 years of being silent, right? That's crazy. Good morning, whoever you are. You missed all the other dogs. It was a lot of action. They came out, they drank water, they went out, they went pee, they went in with my daughter. I've got big dog here. Let sleeping dogs lie. Hey, you're back. Hey, I'm back, baby. A plane, like another plane of existence. Like I was on this parallel plane, were you meditating? Kill me. Yeah. He's on a plane bound from nowhere. Yeah. So, a plane to Arizona. Now I see it on your comment there. Delays. Right. Oh, delay. Oh, the delay, dude. Is that what it means? Oh, delay? No, you don't. So you're still at the airport? Or are you still there? They're making you circle. That sucks. I got a friend of mine who took off on a plane yesterday to go to, I think it was yesterday, to go to Missouri to see his father. Him and the whole family. So 4 of them on a plane. I imagine it will include like a rental car and a room somewhere. Yeah, I'm not one for doing that kind of travel. I was never into. In fact, I've never taken a plane anywhere. I've never been on a plane. What are you scared to fly? Leave him alone, Harry. Maybe he's afraid. I'm not. I just haven't had a reason to. Right? I mean, you go your whole life and you don't have a reason to get on a plane. I really haven't. Any place I've needed to go, I've just driven. And I figure if I gotta go, your first time on a plane. So how is it? I never thought that I'd be afraid or anything. I just figured I got no reason to. Why? I've taken buses. I've done a lot of driving, but never taken a plane. Been to a lot of airports. Picked a lot of people up from airports. My wife and daughter several times. But me, no. I just really haven't had any reason. I wish I had a reason to get on a plane and go somewhere, but I really haven't. I'm hoping that come August of 2025, there's going to be a whole lot of people jumping on planes to come out to Elsinore for the reunion, because that's going to be crazy. Yeah, I'd rather go on a long road trip too. You get more out of it. What do you see in a plane besides, rude people, stinky feet, and, stewardesses and flight attendants that don't want to be there, right? It used to be different, I guess. But like I said, I've never flown. I enjoy a really, really good road trip. My friend Dave wants to take a road trip north of here into an old mining town and just hang out, just sit around the town and kind of just explore the town and the mine area, not go on big excursions and hikes and stuff like he usually does. So that'd be neat. I'd like to take the van and, pack it full of some stuff and go get a little B&B and go hang out at the Joint, the local bar out there in Johannesburg, California. So that'll be neat. It's only like a 2.5-3 hour drive from here. So it's just far enough to get that road trip Jones thing taken care of. And it's got stuff, to do. It's not Disneyland, there's no water parks. There's no heavy restaurants. I mean, there's like a bar, there's a restaurant, there's a gas station, a mechanic. There's not a whole lot out there. A little general store. I'm wondering if the deli general store is still there, because that was kind of neat. That was a neat little. You walk in and it just takes you back. There's the bar here with the little stools to sit and order coffee. The mirror behind it, and it's just packed full of all kinds of vintage paraphernalia. And it's got the deli with the meats, and you can get a sandwich and a fucking egg cream or whatever it is, something weird from the past, and that was I think the first time I went through Johannesburg was 1986, something like that, on the back of my friend's motorcycle with his father. And it's like they're going to take a road trip, a motorcycle trip to Oregon and then back. And my friend Steve says, "Hey, you want to go?" And I'm like, ride on the back of the motorcycle all the way up and back? Sure, what the hell? Why not? And borrowed some leathers from his older brother, because I was much bigger. And that was it, man. We were gone up the coast, and then into Oregon, and then down through the valley, and then up over Lassen Peak, and then down through the desert, Nevada. And it was a great freaking trip, one of the best trips of my whole life, on the back of somebody's motorcycle, and I was 6 feet then, and my friend was like 1.5 feet shorter than me. So there's this little guy on the top of this big 1100 Suzuki, right? And he just looks dwarfed on this thing, right? And then I'm huge on the back of this thing behind him, right? I felt like I was going to tip the bike back sometimes. But that was a great trip. That was a hell of a road trip, While I'd probably never own a motorcycle or go on a motorcycle trip, back then, that was the cool. I'd love to have a motorcycle. I was going to get one about 20 years ago. Right when I first got married, I was going to get a really nice little, $6,000 brand new Harley Davidson. And I just didn't, for some reason. I just didn't. And I'm kind of glad I didn't get one, because I'm not really a motorcycle person. I've ridden motorcycles, but I'm not an everyday, or take a dirt bike out, or let's all go on a bike run or something. I'm just not that guy. I'd still like to have a little 125 or 250 or something to tool around out here in the desert. That'd be fun. But I can't see myself out on the highway or the road or something on a two-wheeler. No, sir, especially out here. I mean, literally, if it's not the idiot drivers in their cars driving down the road looking at their laps and their phones, right? It's the motorcycle drivers flying by you down right down the line in between traffic, and just being rude as hell about it to boot, right? And we get so many accidents out here from guys on motorcycles. And I'm sorry to say that, and it's sad to say that most of them are servicemen and women, motorcycles that go out here and just go balls out and get themselves killed, and we got a lot of no-brainers on motorcycles out here. And it's unfortunate. They give motorcycle riders a really bad name, and so I gave up on motorcycles and motorcycle riders. If you're not going to be on the road and handle yourself like friggin' Ponch and John, right? I don't even want to talk about it. That's how I learned about respect on the road, was from the old days. And people on the road nowadays just have no respect. I mean, they got no respect for you. They got no respect for themselves. They're driving down the road, staring at their lap, looking up once in a while to make sure they're still on the road. I mean, that's no way to live. Come on, people. That's horrible. But I digress. Yeah. So real excited today. My computer shows up today. UPS written right here on my hand. UPS. So I've got one house to clean today, which means one toilet and one kitchen, floor. Not a whole lot. I mean, my life is pretty easy, but that's the way I made it because I got tired of having such a rough life. It's like, work to take care of all of this. Well, instead of having all of this, I decided to just have this. And now I can work. Well, maybe I don't want to work. Oh, okay, we're a little work. Okay, maybe I don't want to work, a little work. And now with the vacation rental cleanings, I know exactly when I'm going to work, how much I'm going to work, where, why, when, who, how. It's all written on the calendar. Am I going to have a hard day or an easy day? A hard day means working 6 hours, max. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. And working a 6-hour day and paying for rent for the month. That's what I'm talking about. Making it making it not so, life and death about working, and that's what killed me, is having to work so much to take care of so much because society says you have to have this and you got to have that and you got to look like this and people have to see you like that. And it's like, it doesn't really have to be that way. That's why you got the people moving out here to the desert, the high desert, and living in yurts and little one-room shack, living in vans, trailers and stuff. The van life is real popular out here because people are just sick and tired of having to live to support the man. And that's all it is. We become slaves to our own wants and desires forced upon us by society's bullshit, and usually it comes from the whole corporate slant, right? The whole capitalist consumer driven, it's just a vicious cycle. And when you get sucked into it, and I was sucked into it, I mean, I had to have the new car and the payments and the nice job and going to Disneyland with the pass and doing everything because they were doing it. And if the guy next to me at work is doing it, well, I can't come to work looking like a slob, and I can't not do these things because then it would make me look not as good. I was like, fuck that, I shook all of that stuff off like a dog shaking off a dip in the pool. And I'm over it. I'm so completely over the bullshit that society says you gotta have it, man. You just gotta. If you don't have it, you ain't with it, man. You ain't nothing. It's right back to freaking high school. If you ain't wearing the coolest fucking tennis shoes, then people look at you and go, oh, he must be the poor kid, And I get the same thing now, right? People look at me and go, oh, look, he's the poor, but I don't have payments. I don't have to pay out the ass every month, sit there at the table and lay out all of these bills and sit there and go, oh man, I better put this stuff off. And oh man, we were 3 weeks behind on this. I don't fucking do that anymore. Why? Because I changed my life. I gave up all that fucking bullshit. Yeah, my floor creaks and it needs to be replaced. And at some point it may just fall into the earth, but it's mine. I own it. I don't have to make fucking payments on it. I can save up to fix it and make it better than I paid for it, right? Make 25 times my fucking money on my investment here because we paid so little for it, and it requires, a minimal amount of money to fix it. And it just requires a whole lot of my body. And that's the only unfortunate thing, But no, we don't have a car payments. We drive really nice cars, but they're paid for cash. You know, we don't buy anything on credit. We don't own one fucking credit card. I don't get to the end of the month and go, oh my God, what are we going to do? We got to get in college and we got a mortgage payment and we got 3 car payments and yeah, fuck that. You know, you know how anybody could do that and not want to fucking blow their brains out. That's what amazes me. You know, more power to you, people. I can't do that. Hell fucking no. Hellfire and brimstone. You shoot me, you know, or I'll shoot myself because I tried it and it did not work. You know, all it got me was ulcers, antacids, antidepressants. You know, my insomnia went to the extreme levels, and I didn't get any sleep at all. You know, I'd start off the week worrying. By the end of the week, I was getting no sleep. You know, and then you crash over the weekend hard because you're getting no sleep during the week. You know, because you're worried and stressed out over everything, all those bills, all these things that have to be taken care of. Fuck that. You know, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Because what do you wind up with? At the end of the day, that guy that you work for, he gets everything that his heart desires because you made it possible for him, right? And what do? You get an ulcer. You get, you know, you get a 2-week fucking vacation, you know, and oh man, you know, I'm on vacation every fucking day. All right, every goddamn day I'm on vacation. All right, I planned it that way. You know, even if I gotta go to work, I'm still on vacation, baby. You know why? Because at the end of the month, I don't have to do shit but say, yeah, paid, paid, paid. What are we going to do now, baby? We don't sit and argue about, oh man, we don't have enough of this, and this is going to have to, we're going to do this. No, we don't let that shit interfere, you know. That's how it would have been had we let it stay that way from the beginning, from the 24 years ago when we got married, you know, and we were like that. Worry, 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 work, 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 pay, 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 you know. And we, after the economy crashed in 2008, and once again we had to downsize and relocate and follow the work. And then in 2009, 2010, relocate again and follow the work. My daughter had gone to 3 schools in 1 year, in her first grade year. No, I don't care what we do. All right. We live in a fucking ditch. She's going to the same school until she graduates that school. She's staying in the same community until she graduates fucking college, okay? She's not getting drug all over the goddamn country like I was. No, it ain't gonna happen. And it was rough. It took us a while to find our niche out here, and doing it all after having been hit with a huge neck injury and back injury. It was none too easy, but we did it. We made it happen. You know, I went to college for 2.5 years, rehabilitating my body myself, because the sons of bitches used up all of the money stringing me along, so that if I did get my surgery, it wasn't going to kill the pain. It would just, you know, give me mobility. I got mobility, you know. It's not the mobility, it's the pain. So if you ain't going to kill the pain, why am I having surgery? You know, and then you used up so much money that you're not going to pay for my recovery. So I got to sit home for 10 to 12 months on my own dime? Fuck you. Give me what's left and I'll go to college, rehabilitate myself the best I can, and get back out there into the workforce. And that's what I did, you know. And I went from college in 2013 to 2015, and I got into handyman work, right? And did handyman work and started a great handyman business, and had all kinds of customers and stuff. And then I got into a car accident and suffered another back injury. And it was like, you know what? I can't do this. I can't do the whole handyman thing anymore. It's just too much on my body. And we had just started to get into cleaning vacation rentals, cleaning and maintaining. Maintaining was like, yeah, maintain. I could fix things, right? And so we'll get my daughter to my wife to clean, and I'll maintain, and we'll work together. And as it turned out, the handyman stuff was just a bummer. It was a drag. It was a lot of hours and a lot of stress and dealing with horrible people for a little, and it just wasn't worth it. And I could go and clean a couple of houses and make the same amount of money that I'd be making working a whole fucking day. And I was like, why don't we just get more houses to clean, and I'll lay off on the handyman stuff, and I'll just use my handyman stuff to help with the houses and make us more desirable as caretakers, right? And that's how it worked. And now it's just, it's so easy. It's second nature. It's autopilot. I walk into a house and I just follow that little, like when you draw a line in front of a bug and it just follows that line, right, all the way around, and then you can just attach it to the line again and it'll just go in a circle. All right. Well, I'm that bug in the house. I just walk in and I follow my line through the house into the bathroom. I go into the bathroom and I follow a line through the bathroom. Go to the next bathroom, follow a line through the bathroom. Go to the kitchen, follow a line through the kitchen. So when I'm done at the end of that line, the house is done. I don't have to think. I start at that line and my body goes into autopilot and my mind is free to wander, man. And it does. I'll sit there and talk into pull my phone out and here go, the lyrics to a song. Here go the story. Ooh, if I'm going to shoot a video, I need it to look like this, So this whole cleaning houses thing has been just a huge, lift of burdens from my whole life, So yeah, I'm going to go out and clean a house today. Between my wife and I, we'll be there in an hour. That's 2 man hours between the two of us, right? And then boom, we're paid instantly, right? Just like that. My wife, she'll go off and do another house by herself or go help a friend or, what freaking ever, because today is ours. We're not beholden to anyone but a few really nice people that we clean houses for, and that's it. And we never have to see these people. They all live out of town. We're not beholden to anyone 100%. We can just say, you know what, it's time you find another house cleaner, and then we just snap our fingers and we got another house to clean. It's that easy out here. There are so many houses to take care of. We could throw a rock and find a new house to clean, So yeah, I really love my work. I'm going to get some more coffee here. Get a little warm up here. Go anywhere, nobody. Licky, what are you doing, Licky? Quit licking that big foot. You big foot licker. Foot licker. Striped shirt for you. Foot licker. No wedgie. So, well, Joel Diesel's on a plane for the first time. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to ask me, look, you got to drive half a state or a whole state away. Would you rather fly and get there really quick, or would you rather drive and get there in 3 times, 4 times the amount of time, but see a whole lot along the way? I would probably drive. Were you scared to fly? No, I'm not afraid to fly. Joel probably wasn't afraid to fly. He probably just never had a reason to fly, right? And now he's flying. He's flying high. Joel in the sky, flying high. Clangity clang clang. Yeah, I totally dig it. I'd love to be able to fly. I'd love to go to Hawaii, right? Somebody invite me to Hawaii, right? Lucas Nelson, are you out there? Invite me to Hawaii so I can come hang out for a week. I need this, man. I totally need to go to Hawaii. So if that's you, Joel, if you're back, where in Arizona are you going and why? Pray tell. Pardon me while I nourish myself. Phoenix. Oh, I lived in Phoenix for a year and a half. I went to school. Well, I'll be on for a few hours, so if you can, get back in touch with me and talk about it. What are you going to Phoenix for? Uh-oh. Maybe I lost him. Relatives, I bet. Oh, you're going to California? Dude, you got to come by. I'm right here. I'm so close to Arizona. I'm just down the 10 from Phoenix. I think it takes you 4, maybe 6 hours to get here. Totally, dude. Yeah. Yeah, you got to get back in touch with me if you're going to be out here in California, man. You got to come by and say hi. And you know, Joshua Tree is one of those places where people love to come visit. And if you're going to go to LA from Phoenix, you got to come right through here, man. Don't dog me up, man. Totally. Wow. If you're going to Joshua Tree, then hello. Hello. Yeah. Well, everything of mine is public. So if you find me, that's me on Facebook. And you can always shoot me a message there. Now, there are a couple of us on Facebook. Mine is the one with the happy face that's got the stoned eyes and the smirk, kind of the half smirk face. So if you're looking through and you find my name with a kind of a smirky, stoned, smiley face, that's me. All right. So shoot me a message and come on down and I'll buy some coffee. Or you can take in one of the open mic nights. There is an open mic night Friday night at the Palms, about a half an hour down the road from here. There's an open mic night at the Spaghetti Western, about a half an hour in the other direction here in Joshua Tree. And they're really, really good open mic nights. I mean, like really great professional acts there. I'd love for you to see the Tommy Tom show if you're in town. Just great stuff. If you get a chance, stop by and check out not just the town, but the stuff outside of the town. I mean, if you're going to be here for any amount of time, there's so much to do and so much to see out here. But if you're just cruising through to like go on into LA or something, or to the coast, then yeah, stop by and we'll have a chat, have some lunch, have some coffee. You know, I don't know what you're into, man. So I don't want to say like, dude, let's go to the bar and get drunk or get stoned or something, right? But yeah, if you get a chance, man, let's hook up, bro. All right, that's neat. Good to hear somebody's coming through Joshua Tree. Yeah, so my grandfather lived in Scottsdale, Arizona, as did my mother for a little while. And I moved out to Phoenix to go to school. And I had a horrible experience in Arizona. I really did. I did not like it. I went out there with a girl to go to school at a trade school. And she and I did not get along most of the time. After 6 months, the government closed the school down. It was an automotive technical school. And the government closed the school down and sent us packing. And so I had to go to another automotive school, and they wanted me to repeat everything that I had just done over 6 months. And I was like, no. So I left that school and went to another school, went to a graphic design school, did that school for about 4 months, and then realized that the school was just trying to turn me into a cash cow. And I was, dude, I thought this was about art, and it wasn't. It was about money, making money. We're going to make a money maker out of you. And I was like, okay, well, this is not me. And at the same time, I broke up with that girl I was with. So, and I lived in Phoenix. I lived in Scottsdale. I lived in Tempe over about 1.5 years. I guess the best thing was that I spent time living with my grandfather and my mother in Scottsdale. So that was a good that came out of it. But yeah, I came home from Arizona with my tail tucked between my legs. Big time. And it destroyed me. That relationship ruined me for about 8 years. I mean, just destroyed me. I dated off and on, but I just could not make a commitment to anyone after that. For about 8 years, I was just like, I'm so over fucking trying to trust people, right? And then I met my future wife, and things changed. And we've been together for 25 years. We've been married 24 years, almost 24 years. So, you know, things do happen. Totally. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm public on Facebook. I'm public on YouTube. Everything about me is public. I don't hold nothing back anymore. I'm unapologetically me. You can find me anywhere. You can find my comments or videos anywhere. You can visit me, stop by, comment, throw me a friend request, and I'll friend you. I don't do a lot of friends because I don't go after friends. I don't send people friend requests. Every once in a while, if I see somebody that from my past that I really, really, really need to talk to, then I'll send them a friend request or just send them a message. But I'm an open book, as is my Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and everything. You know, hit me up. I'm public. Here comes the sun, and here come the chemtrails. They're not chemtrails, dude. Whatever. Well, they weren't around when I was a kid. When I was a kid, we had jet wash, high altitude, condensation, and that was it. And it would go along and it would follow along and disappear, right? Evaporate. Not like the shit that's going on now. I don't care who the fuck you are or where you're coming from. That's not normal for my past. Nope. I mean, you get up in the morning and it's a clear sky. You get up in the morning and you literally have lines forming across the sky in a grid-like pattern, right? And then after a while, all of these lines in the sky join together and completely engulf the sky, right? Jet aircraft from my childhood did not do that. It did not create clouds in the sky. I don't care who the fuck you are. You can't tell me any different. All right. Things have changed. You know, that ain't right. I don't understand how people can be so oblivious to the past, to the difference between now and then. You know, did they just blind us? Do they just, you know, put a bag over our heads and point us in that direction and we just go? Fucking crazy. I can't do it. I mean, every day I look around and I see shit that just should not be happening. right? It's like, how can we let that happen? Are we so, so wrapped up in our own bullshit that we just allow all of this shit to go on around us? Well, yeah. Well, all we're going to do is stare at our freaking phones. Yeah, I can see why that's going to happen. You got people all wrapped up in fucking warm, fuzzy cat videos and cute memes, and let's destroy Greta Thunberg because she wants to save the planet. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break, right? Man. Yeah, body's got to eat. Crazy old weird bearded guy's got to nourish himself. I can't live on coffee and pot alone, right? Oh, it'd be nice. We could move to Amsterdam. Amsterdam it. Hi, dog. Did I wake you? Sorry. Mm-hmm. Well, that looks... I like to see that on my comments. Just that statement right there. Pretty sure we're going to Joshua Tree. That's awesome. Make it so. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That would be sweet. That would be one of those toppers, because like I've said before, I'm not doing this show for money. This is a hobby. There's nothing going to be monetized on my channel. Yeah, baby. I'm not. There's no commercials. If you see a commercial on my channel, it's a commercial about me or something I'm doing. Right? He's a pro Muslim dude. Right? So, this is the real deal. If you come here, and make a comment, I want to know who you are, where you're from, what you're all about. I don't want to just see a thumbs up and a subscribe and then forget about you and go on to the next, gimme. I don't want that. I want to actually, every person that has made a comment here, I think I've done well in trying to forge some kind of relationship, and that's really neat. I'm making more friends here doing this than I have over the last 10 years or more, So yeah, I am invested in you and Monts and Vice and Krim and all these other guys that have stopped in and hung out, All right, man, take it easy. Safe travels. If you find me on Facebook, shoot me a message and we'll hook up, man. That's awesome. No pressure. I'm just a crazy old weird bearded guy. But if we get together, you're going to get the same thing you're seeing here. All right, man, take it easy. We'll talk to you later. Well, somebody's still hanging around. So I wonder who that could be. Well, I think it's time for a mental evaluation. More like a mental evacuation. Oh, yeah. I'm just so excited that my computer is going to be here today. And it's nothing special. It's nothing, to write home about. It's just a regular little Acer laptop, nothing extravagant. No big, heavy programs. I'm just getting the basics because I've found out that you can do a lot with a little bit. Everything that I've done on my channel has just been done with just such a little amount of tech. And now my tech is being kicked up a notch. Not only am I going to be able to do more with what I have, but I am going to be able to do more with stuff that I have that I haven't been able to use. I've got some programs that I want to install, but my computer's too slow and out of date with not enough memory. With the next computer, I can install more software, You know, I can run more devices through the new one because it'll be running faster. I can run, maybe I'll finally update my old laptop, right, to Windows 11 so that I can share stuff, easily between the two. And the three, really, because I will have an external hard drive hooked to my mixer, right? So everything that goes out live through my mixer will get recorded and then be able to get uploaded, and that's neat. That's very, very cool. At some point, I'll be able to bring everything from YouTube and put it onto disk. That's cool. I think my first goal is to get a hard drive, an external hard drive that holds all of my finished videos, every single finished video, and then upload all of my live video recordings onto hard disk. That's going to be cool. That's going to be way cool. All right, get ready for coffee. Coffee and coffee. Oh, I forgot to tell Joel that here in Joshua Tree on Sunday during the day is a great, great open mic. And if they're just passing through, I hope it's on Sunday in the early afternoon so that we can go over the couple of hours. Even if they come and hang out for a couple of hours for the open mic during the day, they can still get in a car and get to the coast before night, before sunset, well before sunset. So I don't know what the plan is, but yeah, it'd be neat, totally cool to meet somebody. I mean, if you're going to tune in to watch this, then you must be cool, right? At least cool enough to hang out. And I'm not saying, well, you ain't cool, like me cool, right? Jagger like me. You're my kind of peeps. That's all I'm saying. You can be cool and we won't get along. And that's cool. Because you're cool and your own cool, But if you're cool like me, then hey, let's hang out. Let's do it. I mean, there must be something about you that's weird enough for you to want to come and hang out on the show. So let's chill out, man. Wow, I'm like all excited and beaming again. This week has been, a fantastic week. I've had guests on my show every day this week, multiple guests, with a lot of back and forth conversation going on. My sister's been on. It's just great. I mean, it's just, wow. I get tongue-tied and speechless because I'm just overwhelmed with all of the peeps. And then I start thinking about my computer and the program and my cameras and the cables, and then I get all excited again and I get all flustered. But I still feel like I lived in Los Angeles in the 1930s or 40s on that old hill that's gone, in an old lap-sided house. I feel like I was an old black man. I feel like I was a repairman, junk dealer type guy. Yeah, man, I just get this. Wow. Who knows? Maybe I'm reconnecting. Maybe I'm just writing a story in my head, and I don't know it. I don't know. I just don't know. Some pretty heavy stuff, when you sit and you contemplate the whys and wherefores of existence. It takes you some pretty heavy places. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people out there just don't even just don't even go there. I mean, a lot of people out there are just so wrapped up in the mundane, you know, that they don't even have any conception that, you know, there might be something else other than, you know, working your ass off, getting a little sleep, paying your bills, paying your tithing, and voting and going about your, you know, there's a lot of people just can't even wrap their heads around the fact that that ain't everything, man. There's more going on, you know. I'm constantly questioning everything because that's just my nature, you know. Sure, I'll believe what you're saying. Am I going to believe it 100%? No, never. I never believe anything 100%. You know, there's always room for doubt. You know, you believe 100% in something, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment because nothing is 100%. I don't care who you are or what you say. Name nothing 100%. Well, what about this or what about that? Like that? No. You know, death and taxes, man. That's it. 100%. That's the only thing that is death and taxes. That's all. Everything else can be changed. Everything else has another way to look at it, right? So don't try to come along and convince me 100% to follow a path because it ain't going to happen. You know, it ain't going to happen. You know, I'll hang out with you. I'll walk along with you down that path, right? But that's not my path. My path is, if your path is this, well, then my path is this, all right? And that's my, and at some point I'm going to come along and we're going to say, hey, look, we're on the same path for a little while. All right, now I'm off again, going checking this out. That's just the way I am. You know, I don't slight you for walking the same path. Some people have to walk that same path. That is their life, for walking that road. They have to do that. You know, ain't nobody gonna pull them off of that road. That's your bag, baby. Go for it. Walk that fucking road. Wear out them shoes, man. But I got running shoes on, and I'm gonna be running up that hill, and then I'm gonna be running down that hill, and I'm gonna be running around you. I'm gonna be doing circles around you and shit. You stay on that road, I'm gonna be all over the fucking place. You know, I'm gonna believe this, but not 100% because there's also this over here that might be true. I'm gonna believe this too. I'm gonna believe a little bit of everything. You know, you can't corral me into believing 100% of everything all the time. No sirree Rooney. It just ain't going to happen, because what's going to happen is they convince you that you have to believe this. And then they come along a couple of years later and they say, well, you know what? You probably shouldn't have believed that because studies prove that if you believe that, you're a fucking idiot. So now we've got a class action lawsuit because all these idiots believed it. And now they're going after the guy who told them to believe. Give me a break, you know, and that's everything, you know, and I hate to say it, but even with religion, you know, politics, you're so 100% convinced that this one person is the savior of all humanity. This one guy is going to rule the country and he's going to take us to the next level and he's going to be the fucking best of the best of the best, you know, and then we get there and it ain't so. And we're let down because we believed it 100%. We gave everything, we gave our all for that one cause. And it didn't pan out. And now we're left hanging the back with holding the sack that's empty, you know, and we got the shitty end of the stick. And it's like that every single time, you know. I mean, look at the guys who, the people who totally 100% wrap themselves around a celebrity or an artist or a religious figure or a politician, right? And then everything is great until that person is convicted of something horrible, right? And now what do? You know, we go out and find another Bill Cosby to look up to, you know, and hope that he doesn't turn out to be a rapist, you know. Well, you know, I was convinced all through most of my life that that Bill Cosby was, like the man, right? I've still got, upwards of a dozen of his comedy records. He made so many comedy records, you know. He did so much. He did so much for America, American culture, African American culture. He did so much to help not just unite us, but balance us out. I mean, his show I Spy, him and Robert Culp cruising around the world, globetrotting, doing spy stuff, He balanced things out. He evened the odds. The scales were a little bit less out of whack. And I grew up on I Spy and Fat Albert and Cosby, and a kick in the groin, to know that he, got sent up the river. And he didn't learn from his own lessons. The lessons that he taught me, he didn't learn from. I learned from those lessons, right? He didn't. How unfortunate was that? I got to warm up this coffee. Let me get a little bit more so don't go anywhere. Arr, 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 arr. Yeah, so I've spent most of my life kind of plagued with stomach issues and health issues and whatnot. And it's only gotten worse later in life, right? Well, there comes that sun. And better light some more incense, that'll look bitchin'. And so I always, having spent a lot of time in the bathroom, hint, hint, I had always figured, what, when I die, I'm probably going to go out on the toilet, right? Because you spend a lot of time in one. Some people are like, when I die, it's going to be at work because I spend most of my time at work, right? And that's, yeah. I always figured that to be the case, until recently. And now, because I spend so much time doing video stuff and being on camera live, now I'm thinking maybe I just might go out on camera, right? Wouldn't that be heavy? I wonder how YouTube would deal with that. Would they let the video go? Would they allow it? Would they blur it out after I've passed? Would they let it stay in the playlist that it was pushed into originally? What exactly would happen with the video if I were to pass away on camera live? I don't know. I'm not talking suicide or anything. No, I'm just talking about, what if I were to like have a heart attack or something and die right now, or I don't know. I mean, anything, right? What about if a little tiny meteorite came right down through the ceiling and right through the top of my head and right down into the ground, through my body, right through my heart, right? Just like that. Just like a tiny little, first of all, how long would it take me to die, right? And then what would it do? Would I still be sitting like this? Would it look like I was frozen? Would it make me explode? Or would I just kind of be sitting here heartless and brainless and dead? That's heavy. Maybe I'll get a ventriloquist doll. I've always thought about, since I was a little kid and had one, and I'd always thought about going back and re-exploring that whole ventriloquism thing. Not that I'd be any good. You never know. But it would be fun to have that little thing to experiment with and play with. Because all of this pretty much is playtime, right? I mean, I'm mostly retired, mostly disabled. So if I'm not working the minimal amount that I'm required to work, then I'm playing, right? Even going to the store, going to Walmart, is playing now. It's an adventure. I don't look at it as, oh, I gotta go to fucking Walmart. I'm like, yeah, let's go to Walmart. I can see some weird people. The weird people can see me. I can look for weird stuff. I can feel like I feel like I'm out on tour every time I go out now, right? It's like, here comes crazy old weird bearded guy live on tour, worldwide tour. That's how I feel when I go out. And I have absolutely no YouTube prestige. I'm not a celebrity. I don't even, I don't even have a band, right? I'm just me. But I feel like now I'm as close to the me that I'm supposed to be as I can get right now, right? So you can't feel bad about that, right? So when I go out, even to Walmart, I feel pretty damn good, you know? And it wasn't like that before. I used to hate just being, right? I mean, so much so that I would just sit and contemplate death and dying, right? Why not? It's where we're all going eventually. Yeah, fuck it all. And now all of my waking time is thinking about my wife and my daughter and my family and videos and my dogs and friends and music and music and music. It's just crazy, you know. So yeah. So if I do go out on camera, right, and I just, you know, uh, oh man, don't cry, man. Because if I'm here, I'm doing exactly what I want to do, right? And oh, look at that light coming through. That is so fucking bitchin'. Oh, that is awesome. All right. Hey, Marge, this guy's really fucked up now.
Leave him alone, Harry. I think he's hallucinating.
It's just awesome sauce. Yeah, look at that. Cool stuff right there. I just love light, atmospheric light. That is one of my favorite things. So back in 2013, 2015, in that time frame, I was up here at the college rehabilitating myself because I wasn't getting any help from workers' comp or any of them fucking doctors or anybody, not even the company I supposedly was supposed to be family that I worked for. Fuck you. Fuck you, people. And we're family. You work here, so you're family, right? Until you ain't family anymore. That's what family does, right? Hi. How are you? Is that foot licked clean? Thank you. Yeah, so I did that for a little while. But while I was there, I studied art because that's what I would have studied music, but I'm no good at reading music and all that kind of stuff or playing instruments. I got arthritis, right? So, so I studied art, and my main focus during the whole time that I was there, I made my main focus in art atmosphere, right? Smoke, clouds, light, haze, fog. When you're looking off into the distance and you see these hills kind of going out away from each other off into the distance, and you get that little haze that drifts in between them, and each hill has a different shade and a different hue and a different color, and there's this contrast between everything, right? That was my favorite shit right there. Clouds and smoke and vapor, and taking nothing and then taking the nothing that's coming through it and doing something with it, right? Or at least capturing it, right? Like this is captured. This is captured on video. I could take a picture of this, and this would be a video of great atmospheric light, right? But try to paint that, try to draw that, right? And if I had to draw that, I would start off with a white page, and I would use graphite, and I would color in the whole page with graphite, and I would smear it around and rub it out so that I've got like a gray page. And from there, I would add darkness and I would subtract darkness so that this light coming through here would just be the absence of graphite, and I would just erase it out, erase most of it out up here where it's light, and then down here I would just erase it, the drawing, lightly after it's finished. So I would draw the whole picture in graphite. The books up in behind me here would be lighter, erased, right? And then at some point when the drawing is finished, I would start erasing out this funnel, this channel of light. And I would erase it down to the page up here where it's white, and down here it would be lightly erased until almost nothing is erased down in here, right? And that's how you do that. And that's a lot of fun. And I used to love to just get that whole page smeared up with graphite and then start subtracting and adding, and then just shape and color and enhance. Yeah, it's all in the details, baby. It's all in the details. So looks like we got somebody coming and going, somebody hemming and hawing. I don't know if I should be here. It's just one guy, crazy guy there. Looks like he's sitting there talking to his dog. Guy's talking to his dog there. His dog looks a little scared, like she's afraid of when he talks to himself. Hi, Bessie baby. Yeah, better tuck tail and run. I feel like doing some singing. I wish my voice was up for it. Well, at the very least, I'm going to have to pick up the guitar at some point and at least work on my fingertips. I don't play enough so that when I do play, it hurts my fingertips after an hour, right? So then I don't play more than like an hour and a half or 2 hours. And then right afterwards, I iced my fingers. I put them down onto something frozen, one of those frozen square things you put in a cooler. I put my fingertips down on that, and that keeps them from blistering, because I used to get blisters, and it keeps them from hurting. It keeps them from swelling up. So on top of the arthritis, I've got these, baby sensitive fingertips, because I haven't been doing construction contractor crap. I haven't been doing handyman crap for like years now. So along with not playing the guitar a lot, I have no calluses. My hands are really, really starting to get soft. They used to be really dry and rough and hard, and all of my fingertips were just all hard and blistered. It ain't like that now. Not in a long shot. So I don't want rough, calloused hands. I like having baby smooth hands now. I just need some tough fingertips on this side. So I gotta play more. That's all there is to it. I got to play more. I sure hope sound don't quit out on me. Don't fail me now. Jim Bob, Joe, Bill Bob, Billy Joe, Big Bob, Billy Joe, Wiggity Waggity. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just totally excited about the computer being here today. I hope people sleep in this morning. I hope nobody decides to get up real early and put the kibosh on my show here. A little adjustment there. But see, the summer, it's starting to the sun is starting to get higher in the sky. Usually it's in the southern sky in winter, and the light comes up and it comes right at me, and it comes and shoots at this wall over here, right? And now the light is moving over here, which means we're getting into some good spring, right? And then at some point, the light is going to be coming straight in this window and headed a little more on your side, in a right direction over there. So it's going to be coming over that way, right? So there you have it, right there in front of you, just right up in your face. Just get it right up in your face, and then look at it and go, oh my gosh, it's in my face. Yeah, all right. I was going to do a little bit of this more. See, this stuff is really good. I mean, it really goes to my head, but doesn't get me all fucking stoned. Really helps disconnect my head from my body, which is what the marijuana does for me with the pain. It never kills the pain. The pain is always there. It's always going to be there. I'm going to have pain till the day I die, right? The marijuana helps me separate myself from the pain. That's all there is to that. It just gives me a little filter, a little buffer, a little cushion, so the pain's still there. It's just when it pokes at me, it's not as rough. It's kind of blunt rather than sharp. If you understand that. Anybody know anything about pain and suffering? Yeah, I does know about pain and suffering. I've been pain and suffering my whole life. That's why when people come at me now, I'm over it. If you come at me and you start coming at me negative, I don't care who the hell you are. I'll tell you, hey, wait, stop. First of all, don't be negative. Well, I'm being a bullshit. You're being fucking negative. Just stop it. I just told, a lot of people recently in my life to just stop. Think about it. Think about not being negative. Think about saying positive things, because that's all I want to hear from now on. I got enough negative. I'll have negative with me for the rest of my life. I've got enough negative with me that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. I don't need any more negative. Everything else from here on out is positive. If it ain't positive, I don't want to know about it. Keep it to yourself. If you got something negative to say, you better turn to somebody else and say it, because my response is going to be, shut the fuck up. Don't say negative shit. Get the fuck away from me. If you want to watch a negative thing on TV, you know, I'm not going there. I'm not going to watch negative. I don't want to watch stuff where somebody's getting butchered. You know, well, it's only a movie. It's only fake. Bullshit. Not to your psyche. It ain't fucking fake. You know, your psyche in your head doesn't distinguish between real and fake. There's parts of your brain that absorb all of this horrible shit as reality, and it stays with you as a form of reality. Studies have shown. So do I want any more of that shit bouncing around my fucking head? No. I'm almost 56 years old, which means I've got over 50 years of negative bullshit bouncing around my fucking head. Do I require any more? Hell no. Do I want my loved ones, family and friends, and those around me throwing more negative at me? Hell no. Am I going to tell them to shut the fuck up and not be negative? Hell yeah. Why? Because I can. And it's my right to not have negativity, bad bullshit thrown at me constantly. There's a whole world full of that bad shit. Am I going to invite that in? No. Am I going to allow people to throw it at me? Here, you have to deal with this negative because that's what I want you to do. Fuck you. Take your negative shit. Take a walk. That's all there is to that. I'm done with it. Period. So much so that I don't watch the news anymore because they want you to feel in the negative, right? They want you to feel a certain way. They want you to think a certain way. So they grab all of these things that are going to make you feel the way they want you to feel. And then what do? They throw just that at you. Every single channel, the same crap, because that's what the corporate government wants you to think, right? So they throw that shit at you, you know, and that ain't right. And if you let it in, then it controls you, and I won't let it in anymore. You know, no. I'm going to think about things and about the world and about life the way I want to fucking think. I'm not going to have my thoughts dictated. I'm not going to have my wants and desires dictated by corporate fucking whatever. Ain't going to happen anymore. You know? Yeah, I used to have the credit cards and the fucking bills and the mortgage bullshit and car payments. Ain't going to fucking happen again. Rather live in a fucking ditch. Look at my lava lamp there. Whee! Lava! Oh, it just got loose. I dig the lava lamp. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Pillow. Oh, that's sad. Oh, I'm sorry. I lost my continuity. What was sad? What are we talking about, Mr. Pillow? What is sad in your opinion? Because the only thing I find sad in my life right now is things from my past. There's nothing in my present right now that's sad. So there's that. But if you want to elaborate on your comment, oh, that's sad, we can kind of catch up to where my story. Oh God, you know, I'm an old guy about your negativity. Oh yeah, I was pretty negative, and I don't do negative anymore, not at all. And I won't allow negativity to come into my house or into my life. You know, oh heck yeah, it's good. It's awesome. You know, and I'm not a. Hey, you have a good day too. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Subscribe. You know, even if you don't come back, at least it'll, you know, help boost me up a little bit and take me to my next level. But yeah, I mean, I used to be really, really negative, you know, and I'm so positive now that even though I'm not religious in any stretch of the imagination, the reunion thing, it's going to have a big religious aspect to it because other people do have this, and it's a positive influence on people. So yes, it has to be a part of the show, the reunion, the whole event, you know, 3 or 4 days. The idea was to do a Sunday services I'm thinking, well, why stop at Sunday? Why not every morning have a little breakfast and a little sunrise service, and then some events for the kids, and then everybody goes out and does their own thing for the day and tours around town, and then comes back in a few hours so we can get ready for dinner, do some boating, and do some of this and that. But I thought every day we should start with some kind of sunrise services, and my morning services are just what I do here in the morning. Get up and be positive, get up and try to reinforce positivity in my life. And that's pretty much it, and it does me pretty darn good. I go out everywhere I go. I'm a positive influence, unless somebody throws negative at me. And then I just scream negativity back at them until they realize that, ooh, maybe negative isn't so good. Don't walk past me in the supermarket and walk in front of me on your phone and reach across in front of me and stop my forward momentum, and then just say sorry out the side of your mouth, because I'll follow you around the store, and say sorry, sorry, sorry until you leave the store crying. Okay. And I'm the nicest guy I know, but don't make me teach you that life lesson about how to be courteous. Okay. Because I'm a guy that will teach it to you, and not take that home with me. I'll go home and laugh about it, like Ryan, the wannabe comedian, Monday night, who just got up and just berated women and ran them down and talked about women as if they were just things to be used and holes to be filled, right? And he needed a lesson, and so I gave it to him. I made him think I was a serial killer in the audience. And then I didn't want to hear him anymore. And he ran off the stage with his dick between his legs, tucked up in there pretty good. And then trying to influence me on the way when I was leaving. And all I could do was look into his face and laugh at him and pat him on the back, Now, if I were to ever meet him again, if he's going to get up on stage and do that same shit again, be negative, 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 and think it's funny, well, then he's got another thing coming, because I'll heckle him again. Now, if he wants to get up and read his audience and realize that if there's, half the audience is women, maybe you shouldn't say the things that you're saying. There's a kid in the audience. Maybe you should learn some material that's a little better suited for, something other than guys' night out at the poker table, right? Because that's all it was. It was locker room talk, and it was just horrible. And then he's going to say that he's got no girlfriend. He can't get a girlfriend. Well, obviously, you're a friggin' douchebag, and you're going to get up on stage and think it's funny, right? All right. I'm killing a little pain here. Don't want to offend anyone. Mr. Pillow. That sounds familiar. Am I thinking of the Mr. Pillow? Mr. Pillow? There's my atmosphere. There you go. Try to draw that, right? Not just the light, but the swirls of smoke, right? Now that's something tough to draw. I could have drawn the light. Now the smoke added gives that whole beam of light there a whole new texture, and to try to capture that with those swirls, that's tough. That's tough. At some point, I'm going to have cameras set up in here so I can have a camera looking over my pillow. All right. There you go. I'm going to have cameras looking over my shoulder so I can show you what's on an easel. And then maybe I can get into drawing or have a guest over that draws. David's wife is an artist, and she just does magnificent work. There are these little medallions back here, and they're just little charms. And then on the inside, she put these little sketches of my wife's parents. And then at some point, she's going to do us a large drawing sketch. What do they call it? Portrait of my wife and my daughter and I. So, Mr. Pillow, what's the Mr. Pillow about? Are you just totally into sleeping? Are you like you suffer from narcolepsy? You calling me a narc? That's too much. You're a riot. The guy's a riot, you know? Um, yeah, let's see. I was going to do this and send up some hearts because I think that's pretty damn cool. So where's Mr. Pillow from? That's for my question. It's a random name I made up. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So, summer of 19. Okay. The summer of 19. I'm like, 19 what? 19 what? Because I'm like 1975, dude. Like the summer of 1975, I was in Elsinore, man. I was in Elsinore, California. But the summer of 19, I was here. Gosh darn it. I was here. My daughter was in high school. At that point, I was cleaning houses. Had already left the handyman stuff pretty much behind. Had already done the college thing. I'm 50, almost 56 now, and 10 years ago, out here, I went to college to rehabilitate. So, yeah, 2019. I know, I get it. 2019, 1973, back in '02. Totally. God, I dig that fucking light. I just dig that. That is awesome. I mean, that just reminds me of a 1980s music video, right? Doodly 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 laser show. Doodly 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 doodly. That's cool. Can you hear the dog? And she is really sawing logs. She does that. She sleeps all day long. That's her lot in life. It ain't a lot, but that's her life. She sleeps all the time. You know? She just. Oh, my dogs. Mr. Pillow, you got any dogs? Are you into pets? Or, I was going to say, or do you have a girlfriend? Sorry, that was horrible. Yeah, I'm unapologetically me, but every once in a while I gotta set the record straight and say something and let you know that I'm just pulling your leg. But I've always had a dog all through growing up. My father, when I was as far back as I could remember, my father, a couple of years out of Vietnam, started working at a veterinary hospital, and he started cleaning cages. Oh, cool. 2 dogs. What kind of dogs? I got a big face here, and then I got 3 little faces, and they're all in bed. So, back as far as I can remember, my father was bringing home animals from the animal hospital, ones that people would bring in and say, "Put this animal to sleep." My father would bring it home and find a home for it. One is very skittish. She's kind of skittish. I mean, if I were to make a noise right now, any kind of real big noise, she'd get up and she'd leave the room and go sit over there at the door and look around the corner at me. Is everything okay? But I don't know. She must have been toilet trained at potty trained at gunpoint or something, because she's my father's dog. My father passed away, and 2 of his dogs came to live with us. And his 2 dogs are very skittish. The little Chiweenie, half Chihuahua, half Dachshund, purebred mix. She's really skittish too. I can't bang my shoes together because the little Chiweenie will get up and run out. Right? If I were to drop something on the floor, she'd get up and run out. So I don't know. They had some kind of weird thing going on in their lives. I don't want to try to figure it out. Because that'll make me have to examine my father and his life, and it's like, nah, I have to leave that alone. He was really into taking care of stray animals and animals that were unwanted. So he had a piece of property with just about every kind of animal that used to be somebody's pet. A one-eyed pigeon, a 3-legged cat, puppies or kittens that people didn't want. canaries, just any rabbits, any kind of animal, roosters, anything that somebody didn't want, he'd say, bring it over. You don't want that horse? Bring that horse over. And then he'd be feeding a horse. Now he's feeding horses. Now he got 3 or 4 horses. He has 6 dogs, 27 cats, and a couple of roosters, and a one-eyed pigeon who raises everybody. And it's like, it's Dr. fucking Doolittle here. Hello. So yeah, I mean, I was kind of raised to be a dog whisperer. So now dogs are my thing. All of my 4 dogs are dogs that have been rescued, right? One of them I pulled right off the street in a rainstorm. One of them we brought home because the old lady who brought him home from the supermarket couldn't deal with his teething, right? And then my 2 father's dogs were, given to us. So, and a lot of dogs that I've had throughout my whole life have been, weird dogs. Really weird dogs. All my father's dogs have always been like the perfect dogs. He's always got the perfect man's dog. Sleeps at the foot of the bed, gets up with you, goes everywhere, helps take care of the other animals and that kind of stuff. And I never really had that kind of dog until Sam came along, the one that I rescued off of the street. And he is the master of the house. He's the master of me, my wife, my daughter, all the other dogs, the master of the neighborhood. No matter where he goes, he's in charge. And he's really good at it. And he's polite and he's kind and he's caring. He follows these dogs around all day long, checking up on them, not just bugging them, but he'll go up, lick their face, clean their ears, sit with them, And he does the same thing with people. If you're sitting there by yourself, he'll come in, he'll see what's going on. If you look sad, he'll come in, he'll sit in your lap and he'll lick your face. If you go to take a nap, he wants to go and lay down with you. If I get into bed late at night and I'm trying to go to sleep, he'll jump on me and attack me and he'll play with me and make sure that I go to bed in a happy mood. I mean, he's like the dog. He's like the dog, the best dog that I've ever had. He's awesome. At some point, I'm going to put together some more video and photos of Sam. But he's in a lot. If you watch some of my videos, he's the little black dog that's in most of my videos. Most of the videos that have a dog in them. These girls, they make an appearance in a couple of videos because they're really unique. But Sam, we got him when our one dog that we had was 15 years old. He was 15. He could barely move. He was really, old and brittle, and he couldn't make it up and down the stairs into our travel trailer where we lived. And I literally had to carry him up and down the stairs, hold his harness like a 6-pack so that he could walk around and do his business. And at 15, we brought home Sam, who appeared to be around a year old or less. He was pretty young. He actually grew during the first year that we had him a little bit and changed. So we assumed that he was about a year old. So we brought him into the house, and our dog Charlie, the 15-year-old, wanted nothing to do with him. It's like, get away from me. And Sam just wanted to be friends and, lick his face and hang out with him. And he did. He just, clean his eyes and go lay down next to him. And after a couple of years, Charlie passed away and Sam became the head of the household, And that's when a month later, we brought home Oliver, the little white biscuits and gravy guy. And he didn't want anything to do with that guy for a couple of weeks. It was like, get away from me. And finally they became buddies. And finally Sam came into his own. And eventually we brought in the other 2 girls, and he really mastered the art of being the head dog, And he makes me really proud. every time I see him, he comes in the morning and he looks at you and he wags his little tail, and makes that judgment call, what he's going to do. Is he going to run up and attack me? Is he going to go crawl back into bed? Do I need a kiss? Does he need to come over and hang out and say good morning? Is he going to get into my lap and go to sleep? And in one shot, he'll come in and give me that eye, and I'll know exactly what he wants to do. He's just a great guy. Gets me a little weepy. And every year the girls are like keeping track of who's what age. And it's like, you know what? Don't tell me anymore. I don't want to know. I don't even want to know how old I am. I don't want to know how old anybody is anymore. Just let me experience time without age being involved. I don't want to know how old my dogs are. I don't want to know what the shelf life on them is. I don't want to know anymore. I know what the inevitable end is for everything and everyone. I don't need to be concerned with it every year and worry about the path of time and wear it like a friggin' badge. I'm just not that guy, So I don't celebrate birthdays. I don't wish people happy birthday on Facebook. Nothing personal. I just don't need to be reminded of that we're all getting older and dying, right? Is it a character flaw? I don't think so. I think it's one of the most positive things about me is that I don't celebrate those negative things as though they are positive, right? Because growing old is not a positive thing. Yet we're convinced through our whole lives that, yay, we're getting older, and it's just not that way, dog. We're constantly having these things thrust at us that we're supposed to be convinced are good, and they're not. Well, to me, birthdays are just not one of those things that I need to concern myself with. It like puts a cap on 364 days, 365 days done. I'm that much closer to the end. When you're young, it's neat to have that and to celebrate, getting older and learning more and being able to do more. But when you reach a certain point, it just seems like you're constantly being reminded that, you spend that whole year being responsible for shit you don't really want to be responsible for, but you got to, because the corporate America and consumerism and mortgages and a new car and college and all this, fuck, we go right back to that again. So, I don't do the passage of time in the traditional sense. Most days, I don't even know what day of the week it is or what month it is. If it wasn't for this show, I really wouldn't know. I wouldn't distinguish between Monday and Thursday or Friday or Saturday. It just wouldn't come into play. Even when I look at the calendar to see if I'm working, I'm only concerned with what's on that day, not what day it is, right? When you don't have a traditional 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, all of the days kind of seem to run together and don't really mean as much when you're not required to think of deadlines and commitments and all these things. It just doesn't mean as much. Don't go away, nobody. Whoa, there's that light. I love that light. That's just great light right there. That's just, oh no wedgie. That's just some great, wow, great atmosphere, man. What's that line coming through? Is that cable? Diddly 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 diddly. That's awesome sauce. It's like a UFO landing and trying to beam me up. Mulder! Mulder, no! Don't go to the line, Mulder! Totally shh. She's asleep. Wow. Well, I would sit here and pretend like I'm frozen, but that little bit of smoke moving there is going to give me away, right? Totally. Totally. Mr. Pillow. Random name, Mr. Pillow. I can't do random. I mean, sometimes, but most of my shit is planned out, you know. I gotta like do diagrams and charts and lists and all these plans. I mean, I guess my YouTube stuff was pretty. I can't say that it was random. Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy came about when I was in college 9 years ago, 10 years ago, right? But I can't say that it was random. I believe I chose each word specifically to describe me as I am. Oh, por favor. And then Elsinore Brothers, which originally started, the concept was to do a show called Elsinore Brothers and have Elsinore Brothers on the show via conference call, right? FaceTime or whatever, Skyping and Zooming and all that stuff. So that was the initial idea. Eventually, it evolved into Elsinore Brothers Studio because the name sounded like it really does function more as a place and an entity where these creations happen, right? And then Mondre Media Productions came about back in the late 70s, early 80s with my father and his college and university video productions that he did. In the 70s, he was Street Media was his brand. He did advertising for local street publications, basically those rags where they're advertising strippers and pornographic movies, and there's a lot of nudity in these papers. There's sex, there's the I mean, there's just, these are really, little sex newspapers is what they are. And you could have found them in the little machines walking up and down the street in Hollywood. Anywhere in Hollywood, you could open up a box and pull out the LA Star. And it later, somebody else used that name, but back in the 70s, the Star was just a Hollywood porno rag paper thing where you could find out what was going on, hire a stripper, get a blowjob, whatever. But so he wrote articles and did advertising, and at one point he even did a thing on hang gliding. I don't want to say expose. It was just a story about hang gliding, and he went with a guy to the beach and took some pictures of him learning how to take off and land on a little sandy hill at the beach, and that was a neat thing. But for the most part, it was just selling advertising for that that made him the money. Every once in a while, he'd do some stories here and there. I wish I still had a couple of those old nasty, old dirty porno papers. But there you go. Maybe I'll see if I can find something on eBay, but probably not. And those things are probably, nobody saved those things. If anybody did, they were in a collection where their family members found them afterward and said, "Oh, get rid of that shit. I mean, look at all these dirty, nasty magazines," right? Which is probably what happened to my father's that he had. But there were neat stories, and he used to take me to work with him when I was a little kid. I mean, a little kid, like preschool, like 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old. I used to go with him to work, which was a common thing through my whole life, was getting out of school to go with him to work and spending the day with him at work or at school, at the university, at the college, wherever he was at, he'd take me with him and I'd spend the day with him. I don't know why. Was there something wrong with me that the school didn't want me? Was there something wrong with me that he had to keep track of what I was doing and what I was thinking? I don't know. Nobody ever came straight out and told me what was up with my reality, right? Who am I and how did I get here and why am I in this family and who are both of my parents really and who are my siblings to me really? All of these questions, questions, of course, I couldn't really come to understand asking until my father was dying and dead. So my mother's been gone for years. There are only probably a handful of people around who would actually know the truth of my own reality, right? Is anybody going to just come out and tell me? No. Am I going to go right out and ask anybody? Well, I've kind of asked a couple of people. Nobody's been able to come out and say, yeah, man, where did I get this? Like a bite or something? Or acne? I don't know. But so you ask yourself, these questions, and there's really no one around to answer you other than maybe getting a DNA test, right? And then where does that leave you? Still with a lot of questions. So I'm hesitant to go that route and get a DNA test and compare my DNA to my brother's or sister's or both and figure it out, because I can't compare it to anyone on my mother's side of the family, right? Because I don't know any of them, and her father's gone. And I could compare it to my father's side of the family, but I don't think there's really a reason or a need for that. I mean, honestly, I think that it's more likely that I'm the product of something that happened while he was in Vietnam. So there you go. But these are things and questions that I just have to figure out. So DNA testing sounds like the most logical venue to examine these questions further. I guess that at some point on this show, we'll be doing some DNA testing and taking a deeper look into those questions. Will it change who I am or how I am with my family? Probably not. I mean, it's not going to make us. It's not going to make us any closer. It certainly couldn't make us any further apart, right? So, while I don't think it's going to bring us together, I don't think it's going to drive us apart. You know, I'm not going to love my brother and sister any less. You know, I've never been one to like any of my family most of my life. I love them. Do I like them? Are they my friends? Questionable. You know, my bro's my bro, but are we, you know, friends? Maybe if we were to hang around together a lot, maybe, but I'm always going to be seen as that guy. I'm always going to be seen as the person that they have seen me as my whole life, unchanging. He's always that guy. Yeah, that's Mike, So is it necessary for me to try to forge some kind of new friendship with them? No, because they're never going to see me as anything other than what they want to see me as, right? So that's not going to change. I cannot change that. As much as I would like for them to see me as me and not the me that they think I am, that's never going to happen. If they were to sit and watch hours and hours and hours of me on video, they would still only have a smattering of who I am, right? And then that would just give them, further seed for that image that they have of me, right? Because they're not gonna change that. They're just gonna add to that. And that's the way most people from my past are gonna see me, And that's unfortunate because I'm planning this reunion and we're gonna have a lot of people who are just completely resigned to the fact that they're not going because I'm holding it. And that's sad, that's sad. I mean, I'm open-minded enough to have pretty much anyone there, including the people that don't like me and the people that I don't really care for, So, if someone doesn't want to come because of me, wow, I feel really, really sad for that person. That you're going to give up the opportunity to see all these other people because of one person or one family name. Oh, that family's going to be there. I ain't going to be there then. Wow, that's too bad for you. How sad are you that you have to hold on to hate and resentment and misery for so long that, what is this? 40 freaking years later, 35, 40 years later, you're going to still be crying about something that other people can't even remember. They probably don't even remember you, and you're crying about something they did to them that they did to you. Come on, get over it. If it was something really, really horrible, well then, that's a bummer. That's a hardcore bummer. If it was something really, really horrible, but I can't speak to that. I mean, I haven't been the greatest of humans, but I don't think I've done anything so horrible that it's going to keep somebody from coming to see other people. Even if you don't like me, well, look at all of your other friends are here. I won't talk to you. I don't like you too much either, but I'm not going to let that ruin a good thing. Yeah, poor you. What a bummer for you. Because I don't do that. I certainly don't do guilt. If I did something to wrong you and it was really, really wrong, well, then you're going to get an apology from me and it's going to mean something because I don't fucking give out apologies randomly for stupid bullshit all the time, every day. Nor do I apologize for something that somebody else wants me to apologize for. If I've offended you, that's your problem. I didn't mean to be offensive. If you were offended by something I did or said, that's really on you, and that's a personal issue. Don't make me responsible for your feelings, okay? I don't do anything intentionally to harm people or to hurt people's feelings, okay? So therefore, I don't apologize for every little action that I do, regardless of what it is, right? So there's that. And I don't expect other people to either. And when they do, it really pisses me off because then they have to go out and apologize for something important and it don't carry no weight. Don't carry no fucking weight. You apologizing motherfucker. Take it on down the road with your sorry ass fucking I'm sorry. you know. And when a good friend fucks you over and then gives you an, I'm sorry, I'm fucking sorry then. Well, then, you know, you up your fucking ass with your fucking, I'm sorry. Don't carry no weight, man. It just don't carry no weight. My apologies carry weight because I'll put some fucking feeling behind it and some meaning and some depth, you know. So don't come to me with your sorry ass, you know, apologies every fucking 2 seconds because I ain't got time for it. I don't. Don't apologize for shit. Not unless you fucking really mean it, man. And if I were asking for some truth for one of my family members, first of all, don't apologize for whatever truth you got to lay down. Just lay it down. You know, if you, I'm sorry I didn't tell you this sooner. Give me a break. You know, no, you aren't, because if you thought about it, you know, you wouldn't have to be sorry. You'd have just fucking done it, right? So don't tell me you're sorry about shit that you could have dealt with had you fucking fucking think about it, you fucking cons. I mean, everybody on the goddamn fucking planet, you know, including me, fucking think about shit before you do it, and then you ain't gotta fucking apologize. Boom. You know, it took me fucking decades to fucking learn that. Just don't fuck with people. Don't make other people responsible for your fucking bullshit. And then you don't have to apologize every 2 fucking seconds. You know, get your head out of your ass. And I finally did. I got my head out of my ass. You know, so I beckon to thee. Get your head out of your asses, world. You know, I mean, we got so much shit going on in the fucking world. Do we need all of the bad shit too? You know? No, we don't need any of this shit anymore. We're beyond that. Why do we keep letting shit fucking bring us down? The media, the government, politics, religion, fucking so much fucking division, you know? All these things that can be used for good, and they're just used to carve us into little fucking pieces and split us up. Fuck. And that, you know, that makes me hurt. That makes me want to say sorry, you know, but I got nothing. I got no feeling for it, you know. It's not my fucking fault. Every damn day I do the best I can to make sure that I don't negatively affect the world around me, right? In everything that I fucking do, you know. And it is a conscious choice that I make every single second. I used to worry about death and dying. Now I worry about being positive and good, you know, and passing that on, you know. So I get pissed off sometimes. Oh, hell yeah. Do I let myself get brought down to that bullshit level that everybody else wants to throw me into? No, I don't stay there. I get pulled in, but I don't stay there. I climb the fuck out of that hole, you know. And when somebody tries to throw negative shit at me, I stop them in their fucking tracks and say, don't even fucking go there. You know, I'm done with that. You got negativity, word it into a positive phrase and then come back at me. But don't hit me with a negative fucking phrase. Don't come in it with, you know, it ain't gonna fucking happen. That's gonna piss me off, you know. You want to do that? I'll be negative. You want some negative? I'll give you fucking negative. I ain't doing that. Right? Here's my negative. Don't take me there. Don't do that. I'm anti that. Don't do that to me. Don't be negative. It frustrates the hell out of me when everything that comes out of people's mouths is just negative, negative, negative. Why, you know, there's so much more positive stuff to focus on, right? Sure, we can concentrate on the negative things about us that divide us. Why don't we talk about the positive things that unite us, or the negative things that unite us, that we can deal with in a positive way? You know, Now everybody just wants to scream, my shit's better. Your shit sucks. So I'm going to throw some fucking bombs at you or shoot you, or, you know, I want your shit, so I'm going to take it. You know, it's just fuck. Yeah, so I don't watch the news. I turn off all of that shit that comes through my Facebook feed, comes through my YouTube feed. I just turn it off. I don't want to watch this stuff. Don't show me any more of this crap. When people share stuff that's too overboard, too over the top, too repetitious. You have to believe this, have to believe this, have to believe this. I turn that shit off. I'm sorry, people. You know, I don't want you to be offended, you know, and I guess I'm sorry because I'm not fucking sorry, you know. Once again, I apologize for your own feelings and your own actions, even though you were not intentionally out to fuck with somebody. So I'm not sorry. And anytime I apologize for something, somebody better type in, hey, you said you're sorry. Are you really sorry? No, I'm not. I'm not really. Once again, that's that phrase that people use, you know. It's the way the cookie crumbles. No more negativity. I'm done with it. Take your negativity and pack it into your pockets and walk on down the road staring at your feet, because I don't want to talk about it. You know, I had a friend that was here and he would just keep going negative, and just fucking dragging me down, you know. And if he wasn't negative, he was showing me stupid shit on Facebook. Get up in the morning and I get sleep in my eyes, so I don't even have coffee. And he's throwing a video in my face. Dude, look at this. And usually it's some stupid, horrible, negative bullshit. You know, some guy beating somebody up with a fucking can of soda or something. Dude, I don't want to fucking see that shit the first thing. In fact, I don't want to see it at all. Don't show me shit anymore. You know, you don't see me staring at my phone all day showing you stupid shit. Don't do that shit to me, you know. You do that shit at work with your people, you know, if you can find a fucking job. That's not my thing, you know. Go away. Stop doing that. You know, I pissed him off. I got so sick of hearing his fucking bullshit negativity, you know. The guy reveled in it, would just wallow in it like a pig in mud, just covering himself in negativity, and then try to rub it off on me. And I'd be like, dude, get the fuck away from me with your negative bullshit. You know, so much so that he had to run off. Just couldn't deal with me not liking his negative bullshit. You know, and his apology was fucking sorry, motherfucker. Jesus, that's just sad. That's just fucking sad, man. How do you like my light? Anybody comment on my light here? I like my light. Light. Totally. Well, it's morning time. You can hear the cars pulling up to take people to work. Somebody's carpooling. Totally. Pippi Longstocking. That's one of those things that I was trying to find on the Internet Archive. It's a great database with just like all kinds of great old stuff and some new stuff, but a lot of old stuff. One of those things that, I mean, every place really needs to get into cataloging all of their old media. You know, I've got tons of old media around here. I try to catalog it as much as possible, especially the original content stuff. It's hard. It's really hard. But yeah, I was trying to find Pippi Longstocking, the original movie series. Now, I had it on disc, right? But my friend Andrew, who lives up in Northern California, his kids, who are little kids, right? He's a year younger than me, but his kids are little because he got married late like me. Well, really late. And his kids were just awesome little rugrats. who I haven't had the chance to meet yet. I only know them through Facebook, which thank you, Facebook. But his kids were getting into Pippi Longstocking, right? I'm like, no way, really? And he's like, yeah, they really love it. And I said, well, have they watched any of the old stuff? And he's like, no, we can't really find it. And I had just been to the library and found all of 4 of the original Pippi Longstocking movies. And I recorded them. I copied them onto DVD. And I had them with, Sharpie written on them, Pippi 1, Pippi 2, or whatever. And it was like, oh my gosh, if your kids are into Pippi, they're going to love this. And I packed them into a padded envelope and I shipped them off. And yeah, that was awesome to know that those movies from our childhood were being passed on. I don't even think I had a chance to watch all of them at all. And I just knew that I had to get them out. I wish that I had a chance to copy them before I had sent them off, because now I really, really want to watch them. And I want to try to get them on the show in some fashion. Let's go to the movies, or movie night, movie Mondays, something, But yeah, Pippi, that's some good shit right there. That's some good shit. And it's not even an American movie. It was from, I think, Germany. And I first saw it on, I want to say, Family Film Festival on KTLA, Channel 5 out here in Southern California from Los Angeles. One of my most favorite shows of all time, hosted by Tom Hatton. Just a wonderful man. Yeah, those were the days when TV was just some good shit. Now TV is garbage, and it just produces garbage people. I mean, look what the Kardashians did for women, right? And for people and for image. It just turned the depths of sleaze to an all-time low, right? When a tramp gets famous from a bootleg copy of a pornographic encounter or sexual encounter, right? And it's unknowingly released to the public, right? And all of a sudden it's everywhere, and you can see this chick's fat ass going up and down on this guy all night, right? And nobody really needs to see this crap. It's a personal video, but society has become so obsessed with the celebrity culture thing that we got to watch Pam Anderson, doing whatever the fuck his name was. And it just it lowers us. And then these girls are supposed to now become role models for other little girls, right? Who then grow up to be worse than they are, right? If that's possible, And yeah, I'm making judgment calls, but I come from a time and a place and a culture where this stuff is just it's horrible. It's sad, It really is. Hate me if you want. I don't care. I do not like the things that those people and those shows have done to this country, and to the humans that have come after them, right? And my daughter doesn't watch that crap. My daughter doesn't even watch TV. She knows that TV is so full of bullshit, right? Every once in a while, she'll watch one of those streaming series like Daria, right? Or The Good Doctor, or something where she can watch without commercials and without outside influence, that bullshit that gets thrown on us. It's bad enough that that's already worked into most of the programs, not so much Daria, because of course that's from the the 80s, 90s. But for like the Good Doctor, I'm sure it's just filled with just stinky ripe with all kinds of political bullshit, society crap, where they just want to hand you all this bullshit so that you can glob onto it and say, put a label on me. I'm sure it's just full of it, you know. Right down to putting labels on people so that you can give them prescriptions. Well, you got this label, so you need this pill. You got this label, you need that pill. That's, Aldous Huxley, is that his name? Yeah, we need to, the way this world is becoming, it's going to be, at some point in the near future, it's going to be mandatory for most of the people of a lot of different countries to be required to wear a patch, right? That is going to introduce sedation into their blood to keep them from wigging out. All right? Because we've gotten to the point now to where society asks so much of us, but gives us so little, right? Slave mentality, that pretty soon they already sedate us, right? They give us their prescription is like the biggest fucking thing here in the United States, right? Prescription medication. I can't handle my life. Take these pills. Everything's fine now. I can go to work and do just fine until I blow my brains out, or go to work and kill everybody and then blow my brains out, because I just don't give a fuck anymore, because they got us on this fucking medication that just deadens us inside, right? And that's the way it's going to be. They're going to have us on patches, and when our adrenaline goes up, the patch kicks in, this little box on our arms, these little things attached to us. Pretty soon it's going to be implanted at birth, not only a chip that knows where we're at all the time and tells everybody all about us, right? And everything. We're also going to be constantly injected with medication to keep us from fucking freaking out and to keep us doing our fucking slave jobs. You hear it here right now, people. This guy's fucking nuts.
Hey, Marge, this guy's wigging out again. He's speaking the gospel, Harry. Listen to him. They're going to put a patch on you, Harry. Shut up. You're asking for it.
Hi, big dog. How are you? How's it going? You and your big face. Such a big face. That's my dog. It's my big dog. One of a kind. Yeah, so if you notice, I've got the Deftones shirt on today. I don't believe I've worn the Deftones shirt on my morning show either season. I think we're right about ready to start going back and going through some of the shirts that we might have done last season but haven't done this season, because we're just about ready to finish up this season in the next couple of weeks. And there we go. The house is alive.
The house is alive.
I hear a dog. I hear a wife. It's a wife and a dog. Yeah. Well, you know what? That calls for another bong hit. Hi, Sam. How are you, Sammy? Uh-oh, I hear neighbors out there, too. You hear him, Sam? What's going on out there? Hi. I know you want to go back to bed. I get it. You like to get up and do your business and then go back to bed. I don't want this. This is that sleepy stuff. Oh, good thing I didn't grab that. That's sleepy stuff. I don't want that. I want the wakey stuff. Wakey bakey. The stuff that wakes me up and makes me go, hey, I want to do stuff. And it doesn't make me hungry. That stuff kind of makes me hungry. This don't make me hungry. And that's good. I like to take care of the pain. I like to not get sleepy. I like to get motivated. And I don't want to just get the munchies and sit around and eat and then go, oh man, my buzz is gone. I better take some more and then eat some more and repeat. No, I don't need to eat a whole lot. I can stay pretty busy. As long as I'm not doing a lot of physical stuff, I can stay pretty busy and not eat. If I had my druthers, I would eat one good meal a day and then snack in the morning and then snack in the evening. And that's it. That's about it. You know, give me one meal a day where I can pack on the calories and the protein and stuff. And then after that, and before that, I don't need a whole lot in the morning. I don't need a whole lot until lunchtime, really. Just a little snacks. And then kind of like noon to 3 is when I really want to just gorge myself. And then after 3, 4, or 5 o'clock, if I had something really big around 3 o'clock, I don't want to eat dinner at 6 o'clock. I don't. I'd rather snack on something at 7 or 8, and just call it good. So my big time to eat is like right in the middle of the day, and then that's it. And then I don't like a lot of whole fanfare going on. So yeah, this has been a pretty heavy week on the morning show. We've had visitors every day. We've had repeat visitors. We've had new visitors, surprise visitors. It's just been great. Mystery guests, right? Like sane, young, normal, bald woman. That was great. That was fantastic. There goes Sam, off to bed. Here comes the wife, into the coffee. There goes the dog, still snoring. She's still being a snoring all the morning. Good morning, dear. How are you? So usually my family's silent when they come in here. They usually don't like to talk to me when I'm on my morning show. And I could totally understand it, privacy and all, but I got to do what I got to do, And so on occasion, I'll turn the volume down so that I can actually have a conversation and not force them to be on live TV. But that ain't so right now. So all you're going to get is ambient kitchen noises, which is cool because that's the thing about live is that I can do a live reality show and it's actually reality. I'm not saying, all right, everybody be quiet, live on set, nobody move, which is kind of the thing for the Friday Night Live because I need quiet for the guest. I don't require it doing this crap here. This is real. This is real stuff. Like my beard, that's real, man. It's not fake. I don't glue this on every morning just so that I can fake you guys out and make you think that I'm a crazy old weird beard guy. It's the real stuff. It's the real deal. I'm really weird and crazy. I can't help it. I gotta be me. I used to pretend to be someone else, and then at home around my wife and daughter, I was able to be normal, be me, be the weird guy. Now I can just be normal and weird all the time because I don't care. You get to that age where you just don't care how people see you. Like Mr. Pillow this morning. He doesn't care that people think that he's my pillow guy, and he's not the my pillow guy. He's Mr. Pillow. So there you go. Random stuff there going on. I don't mean to offend people when I'm smoking my marijuana on my show, but am I going to stop doing it because it offends people? No, because I don't do it to offend you, so therefore I don't have to apologize for you being offended. That's on you. That's your own psychological head trip. It's your own issues that you got to deal with, So you should feel sorry that you're offended, but don't make me feel sorry that you're offended. It's unintentional, So in that respect, doing a bong hit. There we go. And that's how that works. So I've been working on this White Rabbit video. I recorded this must be weird for my wife to have me in here talking to myself and her not knowing, God, is he talking to me? Shit, shut up. So I'm working on this White Rabbit video. Jefferson Airplane, the Tommy Tom Show did it at an open mic night the other night, and I recorded it. And it's a great version. It's an okay recording, but it's a great version of it, right? You know, the bar door swinging behind me, the traffic going by on the highway and stuff because it's outside, the noise, the sound of the people and stuff. But it's still a really good recording of it. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to take this and I'm going to mix this together with some footage from old black and white Alice in Wonderland stuff. So I searched through the Internet Archive and I dug up about a half a dozen Alice in Wonderland stories and related things. So last night I took the longest one, which was over an hour, and I chopped it down to just the pieces that I want to take things out of. So I didn't chop it down to just the pieces I wanted. I chopped it down to the scenes that I wanted to take little elements out of, which means a few seconds here, so I saved like a minute, and then I saved that minute so I could pick the few seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever I needed, right? So I did that last night, and it still turned out to be about 20 minutes, 20 some minutes of footage. I spaced it out with 5 seconds of black in between each little scene so that everything wasn't all mushed together, and so that I could know where I was picking from, right? And so I did that and saved it out, and it still took forever to save it out. I put it on and finally just went to sleep and got up this morning and saved it into the file. But I still have a couple of more of those movies, old black and white movies, cartoons, even a porno that I want to go and grab a couple of little seconds here and there to, actually the porno was just a trailer. And actually the trailer is like almost PG compared to stuff that we see nowadays. But it's from an X-rated movie. And the trailers just got just enough. And I really just want to capture just a slow shot of Kristen DeBarge. I think that is her name. Kristen DeBell. I wanted to get just a picture of her because she does Alice. And I didn't know that she was Academy nominated for Best Supporting. I'm going to have to look to see what that was that she was nominated for. But, you know, after you do Playboy and do a porno, you ain't going to get nominated for shit, you know, except for maybe a Woody, a Strode or something. But yeah, she got blackballed pretty much because she did that. They tried to use her in a few things. But after that Alice in Wonderland porno movie, which was a really high budget, high end musical version of Alice in Wonderland, it still was just filled with porn, you know. A great movie, but it was still a filthy movie, and so it pretty much ruined her career. But I always liked her. I thought she was really cool and funny and raw and original. Like I think she was on Chips once, but in my favorite movie with her is Meatballs, Bill Murray. Back when I still liked Bill Murray. I can still watch that movie because that's back when I still liked Bill Murray, so I can watch that one. But I thought she was great in that. She was just really, really natural acting, natural beauty, really great. If she's still around, I'd love to meet Kristen DeBell. She's really one of my favorite young female artists that just kind of popped up and went away. You know, you don't get enough. It's like kind of a bummer. You know, they're just here and then they're gone. Like one-hit wonder bands. You know, here today, gone tomorrow. That's a bummer. See, we still have sound, so that's cool. Oh, my coffee's cold. I gotta warm it up. I'll be right back. Sí, soy.
Stop. You have a burrow.
So sage. So sage. Well, we have a biscuit and gravy?
No.
No? But that's sausage.
So,
But sausage requires gravy and biscuits. I mean, if it was bacon, it would require pancakes and potatoes and eggs. But it's sausage, so its companion, its natural companion, would have to be biscuits and gravy and potatoes and eggs. Ow! Oh, do you hate that when you get a cramp in your foot, right in the arch, right? Old guy cramp. I think my coffee's too hot now, but better too hot than too cold. It ain't gonna get any warmer when it's too cold. At least if it's too hot, it'll cool down and you can enjoy it while it's still hot. Uh-oh, I hear car doors and people and the sounds of the world. Well, I wonder if we're still going to be on when Joel gets to Arizona from the East Coast on the plane. I wonder. Now, I remember the the Phoenix airport. I went to the Phoenix airport a couple of times to pick people up or drop people off or some such nonsense. I think I even took a bus from the bus station there at the Phoenix airport. Yeah. I don't care too much for Phoenix. I don't care too much for Arizona because of the politics and the fanatical racial division that's over there, you know. And it's kind of weird how you can go from state to state and you get whole entire states of people who are just so fanatically for something, you know, as bizarre as being against immigration, and you're on the border, and this used to be their country, and you know, much of what we have here in this part of the country is because of, you know, their existence and before our, you know, that the natives that were here before weren't just Native Americans, you know, they were native Mexicans, native Californios, and native to Texas. Texas was Mexico. New Mexico was Mexico. New Mexico was old Mexico. I mean, most of this was Mexico until, you know, until big money came over and decided, well, maybe we should have it. We know better what to do with it, you know. We know that how to use these resources better than you ignorant fools, you know. And it just speaks right back to you know, one class of people deciding for themselves that they should be in charge because they feel that because they have money, you know, they deem it necessary for them to have all of the power, you know. And how does that serve everyone else? You know, one guy controls most of it and everybody else gets shit. Then gets a little cockeyed. Spread the wealth, people. Things are so out of whack, you know. No wonder we got people that just want to be fucking homeless, you know. anti-responsibility. Why? Because these responsibilities are thrust upon us, you know, by corporate greed, political greed, religious greed, ignorance, just flat out stupidity. Yeah. I just remembered again that I got a package coming today, and I get so excited every time I think about it. Calm down. Just calm down. Calm down. Can you hear the dog snoring? Totally. That's just totally cool. Yeah. I'm going to have to record this dog sleeping, because she'll sleep for hours and just lay there snoring like that. And I think that would be some great ambient noise, right, for the background of a video. Because I like to use thunderstorms, right? Thunderstorms where it's pretty quiet. All you hear is the surface noise on the record, right? And then you get this rolling thunder that kind of comes in and fades away and then crackles and pops as it goes away. And then it's quiet. You just hear the surface noise of the record, right? And it's the surface noise of the record that I really dig. And I can get that by using these thunderstorms, because the thunder only comes in and out, just, you know, not as often. And it's just that surface noise that I like. So it makes my recordings sound as if it comes off of a record, you know, and that's why I add it into the background. But her snoring sounds like it'd be some great some great background noise. The deep breaths and the snoring and the sighs and the rumbling and the grumbling. And then the silence. Too funny. It's just way too funny, you know? I dig it. I totally dig it. Well, I'm hoping that when I switch everything over to the mixer, that my digital sound isn't going to give me any issue, because or my analog sound, because right now I'm using kind of a mixture. I've got digital stuff going through my analog mixer, and then my analog mixer going into my digital computer, right? So the computer reads everything fine. I'm hoping that the digital mixer and everything kind of jibes together and everything works. Camera-wise, I'm just waiting on a couple of cords so that I can see if these high-def cameras are going to do the job for me. Like I said, they're not 4K, but as long as they give me some kind of performance, then I'm good to go. And then I can just kind of figure it out from there. Otherwise, I think Walmart is probably my best bet. And I was looking at conference cameras, because conference cameras are 4K. They can be 4K, and they can do high definition HDMI cords, right? Which is what I need. And they can do the remote zoom thing, right? A lot of them have the turning thing where it not just zooms in and out, but it can actually turn, right? Do a 360, and that's neat. I don't really need the turning. What I want is a zoom. If I can get a zoom, I can put my camera where I need it to zoom in. And I just want like one zooming camera, right? So I thought, well, maybe I should look at the HDMI 4K conference cams, but they're all really hit and miss. Like, you know, most of them are USB. A lot of them don't have 4K. You can't really get the right stuff that I want to work with what I believe that I need, right? So it's like, okay, they make a 4K camcorder, and it's got everything is 4K. It's got HDMI out, and it's got a zoom, and they've got a little remote so you could zoom it in and out, right? And it's portable, so you can take it with you and use it. But it should work as a webcam. And if it'll work as a webcam, HDMI, then it should work into this mixer. And that's the theory. So I'm going with that. So if these cameras work, then I'm just one camera down from a 3-camera live show, right? And then the 4th input will be from my computer, which will be able to take on 3 more cameras and a VCR, right? And a partridge and a pear tree. So, and if these high def cameras don't work, then I'm 3 cameras short of a 3-camera show. And then I've got to come up with a 3-camera solution that's not a budget breaker, which looks again like Walmart, you know, and the Walmart cameras I'm looking at aren't really that expensive, you know, and that's good because they're, it looks like I can get all of the little bells and whistles I need on their basic model and get one not so basic with a remote, right? I don't need tripods. I don't even need any of the attachments that come. They come with their own little flip out screen view monitor that can flip around and become a selfie monitor, right? So they've got everything I need, plus the HDMI out. Right. So if it will work as a webcam / streaming cam, problem solved for not a lot of money. And that's important because it's a friggin' hobby, you know. It's fun as hell, but I can't make doing it. But if anybody's watching and you've got some 4K cameras that you want to get rid of, let me know. You can throw them my way. I can always use additions to my technology here. I'm an analog guy, so I'm not used to doing digital stuff. So if anybody can school me on digital stuff, yeah, that'd be awesome too. And I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I have to make it up as I go along, and then do the research to figure out if I've got it right, you know. And I think I got it right. You know, I just need to get the right camera thing going on. And then I think this is the mixer that's going to do everything the right way. You know, I don't want to go $1,000 cameras, $1,500 cameras for this shit. You know, I shouldn't need to do that. I should be able to do this with little, you know, $80 cameras, $120 cameras, little things. Get a nice package for a really good price, you know. So, and then, you know, I could go to like QVC and get like similar cameras. The cameras that I found on QVC, all of the reviews were just really horrible, right? And whereas I went to Walmart and found a few horrible reviews among many, many, many good reviews on a different camera. So I, you know, doing the research there, I think, and rather than try to get my stuff and get things on payments, it's going to be cheaper and easier and technologically wiser to just get the cameras from Walmart. You know, if I was going to get into big giant productions and spend thousands of dollars, then I would go to a specialty place like Blackmagic and get their cameras and get everything that works and perfect, you know. And I've seen people at some of these concerts, open mics and live shows out here that have those setups. And I don't really envy them because of the price that they've had to pay for all of that crap, right? It'd be neat to have stuff like that, and I could use the hell out of it, but I can't pay that kind of cash for that. I'd have to sell off parts of my body to do it. Not that I have anything worth selling anymore. But yeah, a couple of usable, cheap cameras, and then if I got to replace something, I'm not out, huge amounts of money. Like somebody bumps into one of these guys' $3,000 cameras and sends it to the ground, he better have fucking insurance or he's screwed. You can't go after somebody for an accident. Well, he's liable. Yeah, right. Try to tell him that. You don't even know who that fucker was. He's gone. It'd be a bummer to lose a $70 camera, but that's replaceable. It's easy peasy. I'd like to find something used that's really, really good, but the life on these digital things, can't be all that great anyway. A DSLR camera, I mean, it's what, like 1,000 photos, and it's like, it's already hurting. Every time you open that shutter, you're just beating that thing up, and I can't remember what the life of a DSLR camera is, but it's like after a while, these cameras just aren't that great. You got to give them up, or they just stop working altogether. I think I've figured out these little digital cameras, these little HD cameras, that I can actually start utilizing them now. Even if I can't use them for the live stuff, I can stick new batteries in them, take them out, and do portable stuff. And that's really cool. I can still run them through my computer as a webcam and use them. So that's cool. What was that? I'll have to ask Kristen again. But there was the software that she used when she was teaching online. And I'm going to have to see if I can find some multi-camera software to put onto my new computer so that I can try that route. And that just means that if I want to do that stuff, I have to use the computer. And I want to avoid having to have one device that takes care of everything. I'd rather have a device for this and a device for this and a device for that. And I've got 2 computers. My daughter's Apple is going to be coming to me sometime over the summer. So that gives me 3 computers. Between that and the digital mixer here, I should be able to go 24/7, 365 without having to stop on any of these one thing. I'm rocking and rolling all the time then. Who needs sleep, right? I hope I stop sleeping so much. I'm getting tired of being tired all the time. I think it was that last strain of weed that I got, and shit was fucking me up, and I was like sleeping all the time. Now I don't want to sleep anymore. This shit's actually pretty damn good. It's kind of waking me up, making me want to go out and get creative, and that's really, really cool. I'm glad I got the last two of these guys here. That's good stuff right there. Yeah, it is. It does a good job. Does a good job. So let's see. Next week, I'm sure that I mentioned what we were going to be watching next week or listening to next week on Wednesday. For the life of me, I can't remember what I said, but I'm sure once I look through my list of shows that I have picked out, that I'll be able to go, oh yeah, those are the 3 shows plus the X-1. So know that we're going to be listening to three shows, 3 different shows perhaps, and then another X-1. We'll be listening to episode 9 of X-1. I have yet to put those videos together. I found it easier to put the videos together, put them up onto YouTube, and then that morning make them go public, and then I can just use them and play those videos on my phone through my Bluetooth and into the live feed. It just works out way easier than trying to go to the Internet Archive and play them from there, which they play really easily from there. But I got to search and go through a list and find. Otherwise, I just hit play on the playlist, and when one finishes, I hit pause, and then it goes into the next one. I mean, it's that simple. And you can do it at home too. You can follow along at home on the show during the live broadcast, or you can go to the playlist and you can rewatch the live broadcast in recording, or you can just listen to the radio show itself and enjoy that in its entirety without me. And that's cool too, because that's why it's there. Yeah. I'm going to do this pain management here, so don't nobody go nowhere, you bunch of nobodies. So I get a lot of views after the fact when this has made it into the playlist, but it looks as though a lot of people aren't like sticking around for the whole show, which is totally understandable because this is boring as hell. But I'm just wondering what it is that they're watching. You know, where do they come in? Do they fast forward to a spot and go, and then move on? Do they watch a couple of minutes? Do they bounce around? You know, what is it about the recorded live stuff? Probably the time, because this starts at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Most people are like, I ain't watching this shit that early. Totally, I wouldn't. I ain't watching anything now because I just ain't into it. It's either this or getting on the computer and being creative. That's about all I can do. You know, maybe before I take off and go do some work, have a little food, maybe watch a little TV, right? Maybe come down a little bit from all of this. But other than that, no, I don't really need to watch TV in the morning. I used to get up and have coffee and watch an old show like Chips or Cheers or 8 is Enough or, you know, something. And I still like to watch those shows, but I find more and more that I spend my time doing this stuff and wanting to do this and not wanting to just sit and watch an old TV show that I may or may not have seen a million times, right? So yeah, this is probably a better, more constructive use of my time, even though it's just a video log. You know, it's still, it feels like a show to me. So stick around and I'll show you. I'll show you a snoring dog. Yeah, I'll have to mic her and get a real good recording of her snoring. If I could get a really good long recording of her snoring, I could put it together with one of those long thunderstorm recordings off the record, right? And take that and maybe put a little 1920s jazz underneath it, right? And then maybe loop the snoring and the thunderstorm and then play some jazz underneath it for like various songs for like 6-7 hours, right? So that when I do my live telethon, I can stay live while I'm sleeping and then just put on that sound of her snoring and put the camera on the lava lamp and then spend 5 or 6 hours like that while I'm asleep. And if I'm going to do something like that, I would probably just put a bed here, right? And then I could be kind of truthfully here live the whole time, aside from, bathroom breaks and going out and doing stuff, maybe even going to work, but still actually, being live round the clock, because I'm really interested in doing some kind of live telethon, extended broadcast. I can do it for 6 hours. If my technology doesn't fail me or the world doesn't require me to go out and do stuff, then I could stay on past 6 hours, right? It's just that 6 hours I kind of reach my shut off point because I got to do stuff. But if I could plan it out during a period when I'm not really required to do a whole lot, then I could do those things and not subtract from the quality of the show too much, right? And because I could tie into my computer from my phone, I could possibly leave the house on camera from my phone through the audio video mixer and go out into the world. Now, I'm just spitballing here, but it's possible I could do that as well. And if I could stay on the same live feed round the clock, that would do it. If I had a multi-terabit external hard drive hooked up to the Mini Pro, then I'm recording my live stuff and I don't have to stop every 12 hours and start a new live stream so that everything gets archived, right? Because I think it's a 12-hour burst that you can save. You go past that and then you start losing data, right? So I would have to do that, or I would have to save it so that when I'm done with my live telethon, I could then edit out all of the crap and give you just the bits and bobs that are worth anything, right? In a shorter version, the primetime version, right? So I'm just real excited about this new technology thing. Yeah, it's getting me all jazzed up again. It worked. UPS coming today. He says it'll be here by 7. It better freaking be here real early, because if it shows up or gets into town and the guy just doesn't even drive to my house this time, oh, that's going to piss me off. Now, I talked to the UPS driver who delivers to us, and he's like, what do you mean no address? Come on, I know you guys are here. If I'd have seen the address, I'd have known it was you. Must have been a computer thing. Well, I'm going to eat somebody's shooter if this happens again, because I want my computer. And that's all she wrote, baby. No more coffee. No more. It's a cup and a half. Cup and a half of Joe. That's good TV right there. Coffee in the morning. Coffee in the evening. Hi. Can I make you yawn? I got you, huh? Can I make you yawn again? Bessie? Hi, Bessie. I made her yawn twice. Oh, that's funny. You got a dog? Try that with your dog. Sit with your dog and then yawn a bunch of times with your dog and get your dog to yawn. It's friggin' hilarious. It's fun. You gonna make me yawn now? You are, huh? You silly dog. You're too funny. I try to do that with Sam, and he just mauls me. He just attacks me, just jumps on me, starts chewing. What are you doing? Stop trying to make me yawn, punk. I ain't tired. Put me to bed. Hi. Hi, you big vicious dog, you. Oh. Oh, you're so mean. Look at you. You have get 'em in your eyes, huh? Yeah, back to that memory of the good old days. You know, with that reunion coming up, it doesn't matter how many people from the past are going to be there. There are still going to be twice as many people who are just gone. You know, they just can't be there. You know, and that's just crazy. You know, that between way back when and now, you know, we've been thinned out so much. There's going to come a time in about 6 months or so when I'm going to start looking to everyone involved for names and dates and photographs and videos of people who are no longer here, because I have to create, not that I have to, but it's like a moral imperative that I have to create a memorial video and get as many people in there as possible. And even if all I can find is a yearbook photo, that'll do. If I can't find a yearbook photo or something, you know, a freaking courthouse drawing, anything, then it's just going to be a list of names, you know, at the end of people who we couldn't get photographs of. But I've got, you know, a small collection of photographs of people who are no longer around. And I'll be going after as many people as possible for names and dates and photos. It's the trash man. It's the trash man. It's the trash man. What's that, Bessie? Is that the trash man? You want to go bark at the trash man? Can you hear that? Well, I'm pretty excited that that Joel Diesel over on the East Coast is coming all the way out to Arizona on a plane. Not only that, but he's passing right through Joshua Tree. And I may actually get to see one of my viewers / subscribers in person, right? Wouldn't that be fucking awesome? So if you tune in at some point to finish watching the show, Joel, you got my name now. Hit me up on Facebook. Remember, look for the slanted smiley face with the stoned eyes. That's the right Michael Mondre. Okay, hit me up, you know, and send me a message, and let me know when you're passing through town. It's probably going to be over the weekend. So if you're here tomorrow night, there's open mic. If you're here on Sunday during the day, there's an open mic here, right here in town, right in the afternoon. If you stay for that, you can still make it to the coast before the sunset, right? So yeah, hit me up, stop by. We'll go have a drink, have some coffee, get something to eat, whatever, hang out for a few minutes.